Good afternoon. It is 3:02. I'm Joseph Bonanno from the 104.5 The Zone studios. The Tennessee Titans have a bye this week, so no game for them. But in NFL news today, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor is out for Sunday's game versus Jacksonville with an ankle sprain. Texans running back Joe Mixon is out for a second straight week with an ankle injury. And Giants rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors is out this Sunday versus the Seahawks with a concussion. Plenty of football this weekend starting on Saturday in college. Number 9, Missouri on the road versus number 25, Texas A&M at 11. Vanderbilt hosts number 1 Alabama at 3:15, and the 4th-ranked Vols head to Fayetteville to face Arkansas. You can catch the Vol Network call of that game right here on The Zone starting at 4 p.m. You can hear these games on The Zone on Sunday as the 104.5 The Zone NFL coverage continues despite the no Titans. The Vikings and the Jets at 9 a.m. here in London. It's the Dolphins and the Patriots at noon. The 49ers and the Cardinals at 3, and Sunday Night Football between the Cowboys and the Steelers at 6:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Welcome into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone. You know what time it is? It is sleigh ride time. Taking over the airwaves. I've been left home alone, so guess what? The phone lines are open, 615-737-1045. Jump in here. It's Friday, so it means it's time to get Friday. Also, with a little trash talk Friday, and I brought my dog with me. I ain't just in here alone. I got moonshine in the building as well.
We hunting. Friday afternoon, we hunting.
Yeah. It's time to go get to it, moonshine. Ain't no other way to be, man. This is the only way to be.
Time.
Yeah, and then also, that music is playing because it's your intro, but at the same time,
hey,
what happened?
Hey,
Monday.
The boys came through.
They come through.
They came through. We would have had to been leaving those boys in the rear view.
Yeah.
And so two-tone blue, the Titans showed out and came through for us. So we 2-2 it. Yeah. Blood in the water, 2-2, baby. Those Sharks been eating.
Energy is right. We're going to get into all that, man. We got a loaded show. We're going to have Greg Cosell jump in with us today. You'll catch him in the 4 o'clock hour. Also, Josh Ward from the Animal up in Knoxville. We'll jump in, help break down this Tennessee-Arkansas matchup. But before we even get to there, we also have a special guest that's going to hop in on the sleigh ride. And you all haven't had Savage Radio in quite some time, so I felt it was only right when I'm left at home alone, bring all my friends through. We got Moonshine, we got Savage. Like, how could you go wrong? Zephyr, does it get any better than this, Zephyr, honestly?
I don't think it does. This is a
on a Friday, too.
Yeah, pretty good Friday show.
Okay, that's what we're trying to go. And listen, I had a special guest. He ain't hit me back, so I got to call him out, man. LL, man, my guy Leonard Little, he always hit back.
Hey.
Always hit back. LL, you gotta hit back, dog. So hopefully we get him on next week. But he didn't text me back. That ain't like him either. Ain't like him, Moonshine.
No, bro. I don't like that. I think he deserves that public shaming going on. Like, hey, and if you don't call back this time, you're going to get another 10 seconds next week.
That's all I'm saying,
Hey,
Moonshine.
better be careful. I got a 3-hour show to
Come
fill.
on, dog. You can be all through the show.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah, but that's my guy, man. He always come through, man. I did hit him last minute. I think it was probably about 11:30 when I hit him last night. So, he probably had his some nice little bourbon or something. You just chilling doing this thing. So I can see passing up on me.
Hey, there was a good game on last night too. Good game.
Really good game. That's something else we're gonna dive into.
Yeah, hot Atlanta.
500 yards.
They're gonna bust out the dirty bird if Kirk Cousins keeps doing that.
If they're
all gonna get a fine because you can't do that anymore.
Didn't that look good though?
Bro, Kirk Cousins.
Did you expect him to do any of that though? Coming off of Achilles, like we watching A-Rod struggle with it a little bit. Different team, but
I think here's my thing about Cousins, and I've felt this way, and it's obviously sounds good on a Friday after he goes for 509. But I love this dude. If you remember, 6 years ago, he was one of those he was one of the first ones to get that 9-figure deal.
Yep.
He got that $100 million guaranteed before anybody else.
Yes, he did.
And Kirk has been doubted, and people been hating on forever. And you know what? The only thing he does is goes out and balls out on everybody's head.
Time.
Even asked Michigan back in the Michigan State days, dude. I think what did he say? He's 3-1 Sparties.
Yeah.
So it's I don't doubt this guy anymore. And when he's got
Drake London and Darnell Mooney, and then Bijan Robinson going.
Yep.
Their defense is full of a bunch of savages, especially on the back end, Jesse Bates and the boys. Anyway, did I expect it? No, but my days of doubting Kirk Cousins are they're gone, man. And I mean, dude, what Shake and Bake Mayfield's doing too. I mean, here's what I did, and we're going to talk a lot of Titans football and all that. But what I did watching those two teams with two savvy quarterbacks throwing the ball over the field, putting up 30 and 36, and having a shootout, made me think we have a little ways to go on our offense if we're going to try to keep up with teams like that. But that's 1 week. 1 week in the NFL, both teams were hot and getting after it. But, I saw both those offenses moving the ball, chunk plays, playmakers all over the field. It made me hyped up, first of all, but then it made me think about my squad. I mean, all right, well, we getting there.
We can get there. We can get there at some point. We got to give a shout out. Mayor is on assignment today. Babsy, you know where she is. She's in Stillwater holding it down. I should have told Babsy, hey, man, tell Gundy, put him on three-way, call in, let us rap with him, see if the mullet flowing. Like, we need all that right there.
Gundy would have taken over these airwaves. Anytime he's got a hot mic, that's a must. Listen, he knows what to do with a hot mic. That would have been good. Remind me, what game is that you said?
That is West Virginia at Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Yeah,
a
so
big
they're
boy.
in Stillwater,
nice.
Nice little Big 12 matchup. That's crazy. These matchups that you got going. You got Miami going out to Cal. That's where game day is. So a lot of things to get into. Not a huge college football weekend, but some matchups, especially in the SEC, that can catch people slipping. We'll be able to dive into that as well.
Yep.
What the boys got going on up in state? What the Grizzlies? We doing anything?
Oh, Grizzlies big time, dude.
Okay.
We're big time.
All right.
I mean, we got
checked in on y'all in a while.
Hey, listen. I think we're ranked. What are we like? We're top 10. We're back in the top 10. We got knocked off early.
Yeah.
We play some slaps. Weber State this week. That used to be. It used to be a big game. It'll be a big game, but we got a couple big ones coming up. It's kind of like where we're moving in SEC country in this time of the season, where the first cupcake games are out of the way, and now you're getting to the meat of the conference schedule. So we got Weber State rolling through their homecoming. It'll be a big week, but my Grizz played the national championship a year ago, got smacked around, but we're back. We all right, and
regrouped.
And don't forget, I'll be up there later in the year, probably calling in, and you boys a couple soda pops deep. But we got Grizzly Stadium is no joke. No, we do not mess around up there.
It's serious. So, you can see it from the pictures.
So the boys are, we'll be all right. We'll figure it out. But.
Okay. I love that, man. Well, the lines are open all day long. You can interject throughout. You don't have to wait. Zelf has the okay to give anybody access. 615-737-1045. Don't call with no foolishness. It is Trash Talk Friday. I'm looking here for Arkansas Hogs fans. I'm looking here from Vandy fans. Y'all got Bama stepping into right over there in what's the name of the stadium? Is it Fritz?
We'll figure it out.
I'll have to look that up.
Wow, that's a tough one, y'all.
Can I plant the seed?
Please.
If Arkansas fans are going to call in and give us the pig suey on the airwaves, which is fine. It's we want that.
Right.
You better say it with your chest.
Please.
I want to hear a pig suey.
Please, a real one.
And if you want to talk some smack, don't come at me with that quiet pig suey.
Yeah, we ain't looking for none of that.
Yeah, come on. So Arkansas fans, give us a shout. We'll let you spew it on the airwaves, but it's got to be with your chest.
So a smorgasbord of topics. We're gonna dive straight into it. We got my guy Tom. Tom is on the line. Tom, what's happening with you? You want to talk Kirk Cousins? What's up?
Yeah, hey, gentlemen. Y'all were talking about Kirk Cousins earlier.
That's right.
Does he remind any of y'all of Will Levis? When he first came out, he just did not have the temperament. He was banging his head into when he was with the Redskins, banging his head into the goalpost, just doing dumb stuff, just did not have the temperament to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Flash forward another 10 years, and he's good. Does that remind you of Levis at all to anybody, or is that just me?
Appreciate that, Tom. Mark, you want to answer that?
I
here's
what I was saying
early on. I just know you like that.
You like that. You like that. I don't know, Tom. I hope what we see is the paths being similar, which is starting off a little rocky, having a bunch of ability and skill, and then going, reaching the type of career that Kirk Cousins has had. But to me, Kirk Cousins is a pure ball thrower, man. He has an arm on him, and it's very underrated. He's smarter than heck. Will Levis, the other thing about Kirk Cousins is he's also the, like, buttoned up, shopping at Walmart, like kind of down, like quiet confidence. Instead, we got Will Levis, who's got his shirt off and he's like jacked up, running around doing mayonnaise commercials and cologne and stuff. So, like, demeanor and the way that they present their confidence to me is a little different in the sense of, like, having to go through some trials and tribulations and get to where you are in your career. I hope they're the same. And as it pertains to Will Levis, I think we have a long way to go with this. And I love the way that Callie has come out this week and answered these questions about Will. Am I going to sit here and die on the hill telling you Will Levis is our guy for the next 10 years? You won't hear me doing that.
Right.
But for a young quarterback, if any Titans fans or any NFL fans thinks that it's going to be a smooth, easy road to being somebody great, they're out of their minds. And so I think the more that Will, see stuff, the more reps he gets, we're going to find out if he's our dude. We asked for some of this, man. This is a young quarterback that's got a lot of growing up to do. And trust me, I think there's an argument to be made that with Mason Rudolph under the helm for the first couple games, we might have had a different outcome. But at the same time, you can't tell me that the potential that Will has under his helmet is not greater than Mason. If you put Mason in, are we winning a Super Bowl? And that's a tough argument to make. So,
absolutely.
Is Will going to graduate and take the next step? We don't know. Is Callie going to keep riding him and see where this season ends up? I feel like that's the case because that's the card, that's the hand he's been dealt.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be able to dive into more, get your takeaways from this 31-12 victory that Moonshine called. We don't need the points.
Guaranteed,
Going
baby.
down there, spanking them up, man, on South Beach. Let them have it. So when we get back, just understand, 615-737-1045, we'll dive into a little bit of Titans. We will be all across the board. We want you to chime in. What's your feelings? What's your thoughts? We need to hear them. It's 3HL. It's the sleigh ride, baby. What's happening, good people? Big Slay coming to you. It's delicious. Yeah, and it's been trending. It's Shoney's. They've been doing it for 75 years. Make sure to head in for a delicious meal today at one of the Shoney's in Middle Tennessee. That's Clarksville, Dixon, Lebanon, or the one right here in Nashville on Donaldson Pike. And mark your calendars, man. 3HL, we will be broadcasting live from Shoney's on Donaldson Pike this Tuesday from 3 to 6 p.m. for our UT Ticket Tuesday giveaway. You probably wonder, like, what tickets y'all giving away? Like, what game you think? It's Florida! Who don't want to be at a game for Florida, man? Man, Moonshine was just talking about that. Tennessee and Florida tickets, you can get a pair of them. All you got to do is hop by, register for a chance to win. Also, a Shoney's gift basket and more. 546 Donaldson Pike, right there in Nashville. You can't miss it. Must be present to win UT Vols tickets. So don't just think you're going to try to come in there, put your name in the box, and then slide on out. Hopefully they'll email me, call me. No, we need you there. We need the energy. What you going to bring to the Tennessee-Florida game? That's what I need to know. If you do that, you register, we draw your name, you got tickets, I'll be there. You can stop by our tailgate. I just told Moonshine he can come by. You can come by too, man. It's all welcome parties on hand. Now, when it comes to Shoney's, make sure you get in there for that delicious, world-famous hot fudge cake or their fresh-baked strawberry pie. Don't get better than that, man. 546 Donaldson Pike, that's where we'll be live Tuesday from 3 to 6. It's Shoney's. Let's eat.
All right, it's time to upgrade things in your home sometimes, unsexy things, like not a new bathroom or a new kitchen, but maybe new windows and doors. Well, I am here to tell you that Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is who you need to call because it was time for us. In my rental property, I had to replace absolutely everything. And I chose Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, and I have absolutely loved the experience. Maybe you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's going to be so expensive. Well, you might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella, and they're trying to make it even more affordable for you with this deal. 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. Yes, they want to work with you and make sure that you can enjoy their amazing product. Windows and doors. You can actually go visit their showroom, by the way, in Franklin, 277 Mallory Station Road in Franklin. They're there. They have all their products, all their windows and doors in there. You can pull them out of the wall and check it out and see what you want. Or the easiest way to schedule your free consultation is go online, PellaNashville.com.
You can answer that question with one phrase. Hell yes, you want to get down. Welcome back into 3HL, right here on 104.5 The Zone, man. This is the sleigh ride. I've been left at home alone, so I brought my friends with me. You understand that? I got Moonshine with me. What up, Moonshine?
Yes, sir. Friday. How did it get to Friday already? Golly, what a week.
That's
man.
what happens when you got a Monday night game. What happens in prime
that's right.
time?
That's
you know,
what
we
it
cut
is.
the week shorter, man. Zephyr behind the glass. Zeph, did you say what's up to the people?
What's up, people?
Oh, that's pretty good right there. Zeph, you had a lot going on this weekend, though, don't you, Zeph? A lot of family here. How'd they go last night?
Oh, it was good. Senior night was good. Oakland destroyed Siegel.
Did they?
If you follow high school football down in Murfreesboro, it was
Follow everything.
I think we left with about 4 minutes left in the game. It was like 50 something to 7. So yeah.
See, good job.
Talk.
Way to go, Zeph.
Yeah.
We told you the phone line's open, 615-737-1045. You can always hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Push, please.
Man, the F&M Bake chat is wide open. Appreciate you guys joining in. We see you in there. We'll focus on that in a little while. But let's get to our guy, Rick Warlock, who is from Donaldson. Rick, what's happening?
I'm happening. How about you?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you damn right you happening, Rick. Welcome to the show, baby.
That's right. And it's Warlock Rick, by the way.
Woo, Warlock Rick.
Excuse us.
I'm sorry.
Right.
That was placed in the correct way. I apologize. Thank you, sir.
No apology necessary, my friend. Moonshine, are you Mark Mariani?
That's right, man.
Well, we know each other. We have a mutual friend, Doug Betters.
Oh, my gosh. You just graced us with a legend. Oh, my goodness
right.
gracious,
That's right.
dude.
Yes, sir.
Doug Betters, killer.
I last saw you over at the Opryland Gaylord Springs Hotel for the NFL alumni.
Wow, man.
That was a couple of years ago.
Doug's my hero, man. He's such a good dude, and he was a phenomenal D-end. What a legend.
Yes, indeed. My heart soars every time I think of him, and I'm glad that you were on when I called.
Yeah, no
anyway,
doubt.
I want to talk about last night and the last possession for the Buccaneers and how in the world, and Mark, you would know this better than anybody, and that's why I wanted to call. They intercept the ball. There's 1:44 left in the game. They're at the Atlanta 28. That's field goal range, right? The guy made longer field goals for the Tampa Bays than, from that distance, and they ended up losing 4 yards. They punt.
Yeah. If anybody,
how's that possible?
Yeah, I can't. I got no answer for you, man. That was mind blowing stuff. I was even shocked. I mean, I understand. I was shocked that they gave the ball back. I mean, I was shocked that they punted in that situation. I couldn't believe it, and I don't know, man. A lot of things had to bounce right for the Falcons, but that was real bad clock management there. I mean, you run the ball 3 times and kick a field goal, it's game over.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember. I might have to pull it up. Was there a penalty in there? Something happened.
There was a 10-yard offensive holding penalty on Tampa.
That's right. Yep, that's right. Oh, it was the holding penalty, but they missed the face mask. Is what happened.
They missed the face mask. Yep.
Yeah, but still, you're right. That was crazy.
Yeah, so since I'm a Warlock, I meet that offensive coordinator. I'm putting a spell on the bag. You guys
Have a great day, man. Thanks, Warlock.
Man, no doubt, man. So speaking of that, NFL, talking the game, Titans, Dolphins, you gave the points away, said we didn't want them. Walking into Hard Rock Stadium, the Titans come out with a victory. What were your takeaways?
Well, my biggest takeaway was the most obvious, and that's what we've been talking about on this show for all season long, and that is our defense is for real, man.
Right.
Our defense is so real.
Yes.
And when I think about what we have going on the defensive side of the ball, I can't help but just be like ecstatic because not only do we have playmakers, but we got these young rookies out there making plays. Tavondre Sweat.
That's right.
Jarvis Brownlee. I'm telling you, I think this defense, when we settle in, could be one of the best in the league. And if you've seen L'Jarius Sneed, his stats against number 1 receivers this year, it's unbelievable. I just saw a stat got put out. It was DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, and
he's all one.
Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed for the Packers.
Yeah.
Those in one-on-one coverage, he's given up like 2 or 3 catches to all 4 of those dudes in 4 weeks. This dude is for real. The Tennessee Titans haven't had a lockdown corner like that in 15 years, and that takes away another team's best weapon. I mean, our defense is so good. You got Murray, you got Ernest Jones flying in the middle.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I knew Tyler Huntley was going to have a problem with this defense. I knew that this offense was going to have a hard time moving the ball against us, but for them to dominate the game the way that they did, that's what we should have done. Now on the offensive side of the ball, man, it unraveled again for our boy Will Levis. I mean, that interception he threw just can't happen, man. Yeah. It can't happen. And then the one positive thing that came from it is we buckled down and said, "Hey boys, here's the deal. We got to run this football."
Right.
And between Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard, we came out and just ran the ball. Now everybody's been talking about this 30-point out break that we had or whatever, breaking the streak. We had 9 points with 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter. So it wasn't this offensive juggernaut. I think Mason Rudolph had to throw the ball or complete all of 9 passes. So anyway, here's the deal. Week 4 wasn't it's hard to say it was a must win, but we needed to get a win any way we could. Going into Miami, getting a win on the road, we needed to do it in a dominating fashion, and that's what we did. I'll tell you this much coming out of this bye.
Yeah.
At home against the Indianapolis Colts, I believe is going to be a season-defining game for the Tennessee Titans.
I like that.
If the Colts come in here and we whip that butt and we take care of business, our season is on a completely different trajectory at 2-3 with everything still open. We play the Texans twice, Jags twice, whatever. And speaking of stuff that's not going to happen, but if we lose that game and we're 1-4, we're sellers. Yes. We're sellers, dude.
Yeah.
D-Hop, whoever's on the training block.
Yeah, let's get it done.
I'm telling you, 1-4 after that game with the Lions and the Bills on our schedule in the next 2 weeks is not where we want to be. So anyway, I'm stoked. We needed it. I guarantee I put my life savings on the line on Monday night. Those Sharks were hunting in the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. But I will say, get healthy, and it's that excitement is tailored by the fact that we have a big game coming up.
Right.
And it is, again, must win week 5. I don't know if I'd say that, but it is going to have a huge impact on the rest of our season moving forward. It's almost like a who are we game. It's our first divisional game. Who are we? Who are we going to be? Are we going to be the 1-4 team that is excited about a single win? Or are we going to notch another one on our, put another notch on our belt and go back to work? And we'll see what happens in 8 days.
See, that's my thing. When you're able to come out and get a victory, regardless of how the victory is, if you're playing a bad team, treat them like that such. They went down there and did that. That's okay.
That's exactly right.
Whatever Miami's problem is, that's y'all problem. We ain't got nothing to deal with. We got our own problems. But coming out of a bye week, able to plan ahead for a divisional game coming out of that bye week against the Indianapolis Colts, a rival like that, dog, you got to be able to build some momentum. And I think I'm with you. At that point, if you can't build momentum going into that, you get Big Jeff back healthy. You did all this without him on the front line. T'Vondre Sweat, the light might have clicked then to let him know that, dude, you are that guy in this league. You can be that guy. So you're able to build on that. And like you said, that defense, but the running lanes that were open.
Yeah.
Those running lanes, if you're able to lean on that, imagine what it does for a guy like Will Levis. If we're trying to get him to be that guy with the play action. Imagine what that does, getting guys to free up a little bit. So I'm with you, man. If you can't do that, hell, let's sail.
Well, and you hit on the head. You got to treat that opponent like he needs to be treated.
Right.
If we go win that game by 2 points on a game-winning field goal, and Nick Folk hits his 8th field goal of the game, and it's 22-21, and we barely get by that football team, I don't feel the same way. But when we put it to them, of course, it was tight halfway through the third. Like I said, we scored 22 points in the last quarter, in the last third of the game. But we ran away with it. We did it definitively, and we needed to treat that opponent like that. That gives me optimism moving forward. We talked about it in week 1, week 2. We're a good football team. We didn't notch those wins, but you could stack chips away from that. You could build on momentum from those games. I feel like we're a better football team than 1-3.
Yeah.
we got to go prove it against the Indianapolis Colts. But there was a lot of things to take away from that game, and mainly on defense. But to see our running game get going, to see Tyjae Spears make a jump cut in the backfield and score that touchdown. I mean, dude, that was unreal. That cut he made. I mean, and then it's one of well, put your foot in the ground. You're like, dang, that guy's electric. And then you know what? I'm sitting there pissed off because then as soon as he scores then I'm like, why was that D tackle untouched? Wait a second. Let me go back and break. So it's like, wait a second. He shouldn't have had to do that, but we scored. Everything's good. Anyway, so there's some things to take away from it. I like where we're at. We got to go get it done. And because of this defense, we are going to be in every single game. Every time we take the field, we got to figure it out on offense. And I love, like I said, the way Callie handled it. The way he answered it immediately with no pause, just sticking with Will, whatever. To me, I'm not even saying it's Will versus Mason and this and that, back and forth. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you made the right call, whatever. I'm saying the way he stood up and confidently answered that question with a plan and a purpose gives me like a lot of respect for the leadership of where this team is going.
I agree. Didn't leave any doubt. I came into it thinking like, oh man. Not necessarily it's going to be a quarterback controversy, but the door is open to make a shift if you wanted to. And he slammed that door.
Slammed it.
I'll take that from my head coach.
And that's all you can ask for from a head coach. There may be a point in time where he's like not doubting that, or if Will gets a bruise again, he's hurt. Mason's going in. He might be quick to pull the trigger, but the fact that we're going in this bye week, not even talking about that because Callie slam that door, I think shows a lot of leadership. And I just think it also shows that he and Rand have a plan.
Right.
And they're on the path that they want to be on. Whether that's riding this thing out with Will and taking our lumps as we go, or if it's, hey, we're going to keep grinding with him because we put a lot of stock into him and whatever it is, they have a plan and a purpose moving forward. And, even though I may not agree with the decision 100%, you just love that conviction when you have that from a head coach.
Let me ask you this, Moonshine. You got a situation where we hear Tom Brady coming out talking about, guys being thrust into the fire a little quicker than usual. And listen, the job security is not the same anymore for coaches. So when you go draft a guy in the first round, whether it be, especially when it's a quarterback, and you put him out there, it's like, I'm gambling with you. Like my job's on the line. I need you to get it done. If this running game, what we saw from Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears and the gaps that were being opened, just a sliver of hope by the offensive line. And that's all these guys needed. Even with the one being called back from the phantom hold by Cushenberry.
Oh, my
wherever that came from when Pollard broke it.
Dude.
So do you think these guys, Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears, can carry that load enough for Will Levis to settle down, whoever the quarterback is, whoever comes in next year or whatever it may be? You can carry the load with these guys and kind of like hold your place in a sense where they don't have to panic, where Will doesn't feel like, or Mason don't feel like they got to go win the game. Can these running backs do it?
Here's my take on it. Okay. Absolutely. I got so much faith in Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears. I think the 1-2 combo is phenomenal. And we talked all offseason are these guys too similar?
Right.
Do they have the similar skill set? Do we need to mix it up? Maybe so, but that's why you bring in Nick Holtz and Brian Callahan, offensive guys who are going to find a way to get these guys in open space.
Yeah.
Here's my take on the running game situation. You can always lean on the run game, and you can always lean on a big defensive line. You can pack that in your briefcase, and that travels every single week.
Yes.
That travels on the road, hostile environment, at home. Those two things travel no matter what happens. So what does it take to have that run game click? Who did we draft in the first round last year? A left guard. Who we draft in the first round this year?
Right.
A left tackle.
Yep.
You bring in Lloyd
Cushenberry
to play center for us, a big dog free agent signing. You got Radens and you got NPF.
Right.
They need to settle down, especially our boy NPF.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything bad this week.
That's a chill pill. That's all.
Hey,
that's a cool pill.
Yep, little confidence. But what I was going to say on that fact is you get this line and get their potential with Brian Callahan moving these guys forward, a little momentum and a little confidence, okay? That is going to settle the whole situation down.
Yeah.
That is going to allow these running backs to do their job, which in turn puts us in front of the change and allows our young quarterback, to make the throws he needs to make, put him in good situations, good down and distances, have good momentums, long sustaining drives, all these things. Putting him in 3rd and long, making him make throws, putting, blitz situations.
Right.
Not where a young quarterback needs to be. We know we're going to have growing pains with a young quarterback. We knew that the whole time. But the reason we were able to go out and spend hundreds of millions of dollars in free agency around this football team is because we have a 1st or 2nd round draft pick, whatever,
right.
young rookie quarterback that we're putting a lot on his shoulders. We need him to win us football games. We don't have a $50 million quarterback.
Right.
That's why we went and spent more than anybody in the league in free agency. So we got a lot invested in how we can do it. But does he need to stop the BS and stop turning the ball over? Of course he does.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the breakdown of this offensive football team, it's got to be 11 guys.
Right.
And it starts on that offensive line. And if anybody wants to call in and disagree with me that at least the right side of our offensive line had been letting us down the first 3 weeks, then we're going to have an argument on here, and I'm more than welcome to call. But I don't think anybody can say that.
Yeah.
So getting a little momentum and getting that run game going helps settle everything down.
Totally agree, man. And then you got to keep in mind, coming off of this bye week, we're rested, getting to sit back and watch Sunday, the Jags host the Colts coming down there. Hopefully they beat each other up. The Colts kind of banged up. The Jags trying to right the ship. They said the locker room's lost. Air quotations, Doug Peterson said he hasn't lost it. So we're going to see what happens with that. Can the Colts down there go down there and get a victory? If nothing less, can they beat up on each other? So when the Colts walk in here, they come in here limping, and we can take advantage of it. Big Jeff will be back online. I think you should have something good coming out. I think the coaching, as much as we're talking about the players being able to settle down, I think it's a time for Coach Callahan to also take a deep breath, kind of reset a little bit, look at what he's done in these first 4 games and see where he can get better at, play calling, things of that nature, and can he build on that? Coming out of this is when you got to be your best. Coming out of a bye week, you're reset, you got rest, you ready to go. I mean, you got to be right.
And the first 3 and the first 3 weeks we were in a bad place, right?
Yeah.
But to start the year,
Yeah.
okay, if you would have said, we always talk about the season being in quarters, right? Mm-hmm. To start the year, if you'd have said, hey, first quarter, second year quarterback, first year head coach, all these things, if we can get 2-2 after the first quarter, we'll be fine. We're not 2-2. We're 1-3, but nothing's been lost.
Right.
Nothing's been lost.
Right.
We play our divisional opponents 6 times throughout the rest of the year. Nothing's been lost. We just got to take care of business in week 5, or I guess it'll be week 6.
Yeah.
That's why I think, my opinion, this is a season-defining game on who the Tennessee Titans, who are you going to be in 2024? Who are you going to be? And it sucks to say in week 5, but you have to show us right now.
Yeah.
Who are you going to be?
Love that, man. We'll have Moonshine as Savage strolls into the building. We'll get to these phone calls, too. Eric, we got you up next. We got Reese and Laura, and we also got Travis who wants to ask a question. Hey, man, listen, this is 3HL. This is a sleigh ride. You know what time it is. We got to hike this thing up. We got the car, ain't got no roof. It ain't no parameters. There's no borders. The show's lost his mind. I've lost my mind. You be back with your mind.
Is this your seat?
What's happening, people? KellumStemCellInstitute.com coming to you live and direct. Holistic stem cell therapy is always right there for you. You want to knock inflammation. You want to battle it. You want to get it out your body. You got an opportunity for your body, your cells, your solution to all come out and do what it's supposed to do. Now, they can not only harvest your body stem cells, but also store them for future and continued use. I'm telling you this because I got my own testimony with it. My knee was on fire, man. I'm talking about shoulder waking me up. Because it had popped out 2 or 3 times, man, I didn't do the proper rehab. I admit. But can I control what I can control? Yes, the inflammation. I can get that out of my body. Let the stem cells attack that. I went to Dr. Kellum, sat down and talked to him. Also, knocked my hip out, too. Yeah, got that done as well. You can do the same exact thing, 615-850-4415. Call and get your consultation set up today. Talk to Dr. Kellum. Tell him your problems. I promise you he'll walk you right through it and tell you what he can do for you. Better yet, what your body can do for yourself. That's at KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
You guys see all those, pictures and videos of backyards that look amazing, that have the pool decks, that have turf kind of in the middle, and it just looks so fancy and so nice. Guess what? You can have that. Yeah. Grass 365 here in Nashville has been the leader in the design and installation of synthetic grass and artificial turf products all around the world. They install the industry's highest quality of turf products, backyard putting greens, playgrounds to bocce ball courts and artificial lawns. And I actually called Kent at Grass 365 when we did our big backyard project because we had a hill in the back. No grass would grow. We couldn't cut it. It was dangerous. And I didn't know what to do about that little area, and I was tired of it just being pure dirt. Well, guess what? He came out, said we can take care of that, no big deal, and my artificial turf back there looks amazing. Now, my husband's favorite part that, I did one of those combined birthday, Father's Day, Christmas presents that you all, give me a whole lot of mess about doing. Well, guess what? He loves it. We put a putting green back there with Kent and Grass 365, and it's his favorite thing ever. And you can have one too. Call my friend Kent for your estimate today at Grass 365, 615-804-4927, or you can always visit them, grass365.nashville.com.
Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone, man. This is the Sleigh Ride countdown in the first hour. We're about to hop on to these phone calls. We got Big Savage joining us right here. Savage, appreciate you sliding through for us, man.
Man, you come in every Tuesday for us, man. You said you had a couple absentees. Excuse absences. So I had to make sure. Yeah. And then I got a different situation today. So today's walkthrough from middle school team. My son's team is playing in the county championship tomorrow at 11 a.m. So
let's go.
It's walkthrough moment right now. So I'm all good to come in. They handle a walkthrough. The coaches, man, shout out to the ones for covering, man.
See, this is what happened,
look at him,
man. Yeah, we spin the block. I got moonshine sitting shotgun.
Thieves over here.
Yeah, he's like, man, where your partner at? So we swung the block. You know what I mean? Go Big Savage up.
There you go on the corner.
Yeah. Come on, hop in, man.
We here. Come on out.
It's time to get to it, man. Let's get to these phone calls real quick. We've been telling them they've been waiting. Eric, let's hop on. Eric, what you got, man? Tennessee, Arkansas. What you got for us, brother?
Oh, I'm ready to go. I got a cheap ticket late yesterday afternoon. I'm taking off first thing in the morning. I'm gonna head over to Arkansas because that's how it's.
That's right,
Arkansas.
Hey, it's not my fault they don't know how to talk plain over there.
You talk that talk, Eric. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't really have anything against Arkansas because we don't play them enough. You know, but I mean, I do appreciate them taking Kentucky sloppy seconds with Calipari, and now we get to beat his ass in a different color jersey. We've dominated them in baseball. We've dominated them in basketball. They've begun us the last few times when we played in football, but you know, we don't have Butch Jones or Pruitt or Dooley on the sideline for this game. So get rid of all that BBS talk. We're going to go bring us back some Tusk. And we're going to get ready to get in the hunt to get some gator tail next week.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about, Eric. That's the energy we're looking for, man. I'm talking about, listen, we looking for Tusk. I got a wagon wheel right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got some wolf hair over the door to keep all the evil spirits out.
That's real.
I got that from NC State. You know what I'm saying? So the next one on the line is the Tusk. You know what I mean? I love Sam Pittman to death, man, but you got to go down this time. Traylon Burks is my guy. Traylon, I wish you would have called in, man, so we can make a little bet. We got one guy, Rashad Weaver, that owed me and Savage a steak dinner. Whenever we run into him from that pit game when we spanked them up a little while ago. What was that, 2 years ago?
Tapped him real quick.
Yeah, just get on out of here, little buddy. You know what I mean?
That was the emergence of Hendon right there.
Little buddy. Little buddy.
You know what you're hitting with, bub.
Hey, bub. Yeah, man. So we still got the lines open. Let me get to Travis real quick. Travis, you've been on the line. Travis, talk to us.
Hey, what's up, Big Sleigh Dog?
How you doing, baby?
You letting me on the sleigh ride.
No doubt, man. Just make sure you buckle up. Keep your arms in the ride. What's happening?
Sir, yes, sir. I got a random old school Nashville basketball question that I've been wanting to answer to since '97. Me and my brother argue about this all the time.
You got the floor. Let's do it.
Who is the better ball handler? Marshall Bootsy Hyler or Terry Reynolds?
Oh, wow. Golly. Travis, man, all right, I'm going to put you on hold. That's a hell of a question.
Wow.
Hey, man, for everybody, listen, man, went to Pearl Cone High School. We had a great team, a lot of talent over there in North Nashville. Boosie, Marshall Hyler, man, was phenomenal. Scoring guard. Man, you're not going to take the ball from him. I thought it was more with Boosie. Boosie could set himself up to score. Even though Terry was a scorer, I got to see a little bit more of Terry, so I'm going to be a little bit more biased. I've been playing with Terry since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Then went on to Oak Hill and played with him. So I would say the better ball handler, just pure ball handler, would be Terry. But as far as getting to where you want to get with the ball, couldn't nobody stop Boosie from getting to wherever he wanted to get with the ball. And he was sitting there about 6'1". So it was different, man. Boosie might have been about 6'2", but unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
The little high school. Listen, it's Trash Talk Friday, man. The line's wide open. So I hope I settled there for you and your I think you said cousin or his brother.
Yeah, his brother.
Travis, man. Don't present it to me like that, dog. That's a tough one right there, man.
Put you on the spot.
That did, man. Both of my guys,
Friday
man.
afternoon.
Yeah, it's Trash Talk Friday,
What
man.
I do appreciate, though, is y'all's history. Well, in Nashville in general, Nashville's almost been like I ain't gonna say a forgetting gym, but a hidden gym. Almost just like a cave city.
That's right.
But everybody in the city know everything about everybody.
That's right.
And like here, I've heard this before as far as people calling in about Pearl or just other facets of the city. Mm-hmm. Who is better than who? Yeah. Like that's been one of the biggest topics I've ever heard in Nashville, to where you go to the hottest game in the city here because who's actually playing.
That's right. That's right.
Nuts
it was different, Savage, man. Let's jump in here. Hold on, make sure. Travis, you good? You good, Travis? You ain't have no other question, did you, Travis?
No, I didn't have no other questions. I'm glad you was able to settle that for me. Honestly, I agree with you on both ends. My dad actually coached at St. Pius, so he coached Terry.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah.
Hey, boy, that's the history right there. Yeah, Big Terry schooled him. His dad, man, schooled him. Took him in the driveway for a long time, man. He the one taught me how to dribble. So of course I'm gonna be biased to it without question.
Sir, yes, sir. I appreciate you, man.
Right.
Thank you.
No doubt, Travis, man. Reese and Lord, we're going to catch y'all on the other side of this break because I know y'all going to go in. But outside of that, we got Moonshine. We appreciate you hanging out with us, man. If you got to roll, if you got to hang, hey, don't worry. Just be like in the movie Boys in the Hood. Hey, don't. Let me out. You know what I mean? And I'll pull this ride over and let you out. Y'all get that reference, the Boys in the Hood reference, if you know.
I'm gonna do one more lap around the block.
One more lap.
Good break. Two more songs, man. Is it two more songs, baby? We're on cruise control over here, bro.
Listen.
All he's saying is he got 5 on gas.
Come on. And guess what, Savage? That's all we need.
One more lap.
Yeah, we taking this back to the early.
Fill up one more time.
Early 90s, man. You put $5 in there, we can ride all day.
Back and forth. Round and around and around.
Yeah, this is a sleigh ride, man. You got Moonshine. You got Savage in here. Y'all stay right here and come right back. We got some pro football to talk about. I got football guys here. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
What's happening with you guys, man? Brentwood Jewelry, Big Slate coming to you, 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. You want to get over there and get you something nice. You want to get somebody else something nice. I promise you they wouldn't mind. Go holler at Brandon and the family, man. BrentwoodJewelry.com. It's exceptional style, exceptional deals. It's been happening every single day for over 50 years, so why wouldn't you slide in there and see what you can find, whether it's engagement rings, whether it's custom pieces, heirlooms. Yes, they have a Salem E line, man, that's perfect for you. You want to pass something down. You want to have something precious that they can hold on to generation to generation. It's not a style or a piece that you'd wear. It's hard to let someone take your priceless heirloom and transform it. Well, they do this. This is what they do, I'm telling you. And they help you out. Set allotted times across for you to come in there, check out engagement rings, whatever it may be. I did the same thing. Brandon and them, they know I didn't even take the whole hour, man. I was in there 10 minutes, you know what I mean? But, hey, that's me. You do what you got to do. BrentwoodJewelry.com, 7012 Church Street East. 50 years of excellence, man. Get over there, BrentwoodJewelry.com.
I want to tell you about Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville, and maybe you are realizing, I hate to bring it up to everybody, but it's getting darker earlier because fall is here, but now it's finally the time where you can sit outside and enjoy your deck or patio without sweating, right? Don't you need lights for that? Once it gets dark, maybe you want to enjoy dinner on your deck, but you can't see your food. Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville can help you out. They've been around for over 38 years, been making homes stunning with landscape lighting. Nashville's oldest landscape lighting company. They are the leader in LED technology. They can help you light up your night with festival lights, path lights, wall washing, tree lighting, area lighting. They do the design, the installation, and the maintenance on your lighting as well. Permanent roofline lighting by Gemstone Lighting. They do commercial lighting, holiday lighting. It's safe to say Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville does it all, and they do it all well. And I can attest to it because we get to eat on our deck now because we can actually see our food with our new outdoor lighting from Bob Lyons and his team. Reach out to them. Let them make your home stunning and enhance your landscape with Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. Go to outdoorlights.com/Nashville.
Good afternoon. It is 4 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno for the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The Tennessee Titans have a bye this week, so no game for them. But around the NFL news from today, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor out for Sunday's game versus Jacksonville with an ankle sprain. Quarterback Anthony Richardson is questionable for that game. Giants rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors out this Sunday versus the Seahawks with a concussion. And Dallas Cowboys star defensive end Micah Parsons is out for Sunday Night Football versus the Steelers. Plenty of football this weekend, starting on Saturday in college. Number 9 Missouri on the road versus number 25 Texas A&M. That game's at 11 a.m. Vanderbilt hosts number 1 Alabama at 3:15, and the 4th-ranked Vols head to Fayetteville to face Arkansas. You can catch the Vol Network call of that game right here on the Zone starting at 4. And on Sunday with no Titans, you can catch several NFL games right here on the Zone, starting with Minnesota and New York Jets at 9 a.m. It's the Dolphins and the Patriots at noon. San Francisco 49ers versus the Cardinals at 3 p.m. And Sunday Night Football with Dallas and Pittsburgh at 6:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back into 3XL on 104.5 The Zone on this Good Friday, this Trash Talk Friday, this Get Fried Friday. It's always going down, man, and we're glad you can join in us. This is the Sleigh Ride edition. Savage Radio, moonshine in your cup holder. I'm telling you, we can't miss, man. 615-737-1045. You can always chime in. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Right here in the F&M Bank chat, man. We don't miss. We got Zephyr back there behind the glass. What up, Zephyr?
What's up, people? How are you?
I think the people are doing well, man.
Jeff likes to keep it nice and short. Tell the people what's up. What's up, people?
Tell them
something else. Hey, guys.
Zephyr ain't here for all the talking, man.
This is the sleigh ride, not the Zephyr.
Oh, you're right. Hey, we're just playing our role. You're right.
Hey. That right there in your cup holder is moonshine, though. What up, moonshine?
What up?
I love this.
We're going to have to get to that, too.
Yeah.
We got to get to that. Thank goodness I stuck around. I almost forgot. Let's go, baby! Hey, I'm telling you what, too. It got a little crazy because we're 2-2 now.
Right.
So things look a little different when you got a little house money in your pocket. Yeah. So we going to get crazy today.
I like it.
In the blood and the water. The Sharks are really going to have to hunt if this is going to come in.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Hey, we got house money, man.
Yes, we do. Big Savage stopping through. We picked you up, man. What's happening, big dog?
Who the hell are you? Yeah. Say it right. It ain't Raymond. Yeah, you do. That was my guy right there, boy.
Razor
Ramon, man.
Rest in peace, baby.
Rest in peace. Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Man, that's when I ain't gonna see. I hate when I say people say stuff like this, but I'm gonna say it, man. That's when wrestling was wrestling, dog.
Yeah.
Like it was
good old days.
Yeah, man.
Have you seen? I just heard about this. I had nothing to say about it, but have you seen the Vince McMahon documentary?
No,
I heard it's awesome.
good. I heard it's real good.
I heard it's
that was the golden age 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's on.
It's on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix. I gotta go check it out. They say it's real good though. Yeah. I want to peep that.
No, I gotta peep
that.
That's
That's the real era.
I got stuck on that that locked up one where they allowed the county jailmen, the county prisoners to police themselves. Oh my God,
goodness.
it was awesome. Yeah, it's good.
Well, his name speaks for Savage.
It did speak for itself.
See some savage activities.
No,
right
it was good though, man. Letting the prisoners figure out, all right, y'all ain't got to be savages in here like this, like Felicia. It was good. I ain't gonna
We're in together.
Solid.
Yeah. Hey, okay, so we had an opportunity. We're talking with two professionals, former guys of the game. When you come off a bye week, what's your thoughts, especially before we get into the blood and the water pick, which we got house money to play with?
We gonna get crazy.
What are your thoughts? And y'all take your time on this. What are your thoughts when coming out of a bye week when you know it's time to reset? Especially finally getting a win, you kind of remove the black cloud in a sense. You have some air to breathe. What's your thoughts coming into this? How do you get going into an AFC South divisional opponent for the next week?
Well, I'll just off the top. I thought this was a perfect time for this year's Tennessee Titans to get this bye week. Now, if you would have showed me the schedule when it first came out, I would have said, dang, week 5, that's too early, man. It's too early. It's too early. And I agree with that. But I think the what we just did in the first 3 weeks and then getting a big win, I like where we're at going into a divisional game because, Moan, we were talking earlier about this week 6 matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. And for me, this is a season-defining game for the Tennessee Titans. I guess it's at our house. If the Colts come in here and you take care of business and you're 2-3, you have a much different attitude than if you get your butt kicked by a divisional opponent and you're 1-4 and you have the Bills and the Lions in your next 2 weeks.
It slows the chase down.
Yeah.
It slows the chase down. 2-3 sound way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, way better.
Especially against divisional opponents. So for me, I mean, coming out, I thought it was a good time. I thought it was a good time to settle down and relax. We needed it. Get a win. Tell everybody what it was Aaron Rodgers say, calm down.
Yeah.
We needed it. There was too much turmoil for the Tennessee Titans. But anyway, now it's time to regroup, get the film study in, get healthy, because we got to make a big push here. We got to make a big push. We put ourselves in a little bit of hole, and now it's time to correct our mistakes, move forward, move past them, put them in our rearview mirror, and go get after it. Because the Tennessee Titans in 2024 have a long way to go before we can say we put a full game together, offense, defense, and special teams. If we put a full game together, I think this is a good enough roster to win some football games, but we're not even close to have done that yet.
I agree with you on that one. Mine coming out of the bye was don't drop the ball. You've had a week off. You have to hit the ground running. That's what it was. And that's why I hated it in the beginning parts of it. Yes, when Coach Tomlin used to give us those bonus Mondays, but you needed them, though, to get that rust off, to get your mentality back to football mode, because I think they get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So you really relax a little bit.
Yeah.
What you say to yourself is, I got to look like a pro whenever we step back out on that practice field. And by the end of the week, I need to be feeling good knowing that I had a week off of rest. And mentally, whoever we facing have to feel our bye week on us, meaning we need to look and feel refreshed out there. If there's a reset to be had as far as play calling, figure out what you want to run, what you don't like running, this is the week. Do it, because to your point, Mark, they got straight 1 o'clock from here on out unless they start winning and we hit those flex games.
Yep.
This is where you are. So mine was, don't look like you were on vacation. You can't afford to, because this is where, me personally, the fans are owed a certain expectation as far as the product that you put out there. And if you come out there dragging your butt, looking sloppy, you've accomplished nothing.
Well, and to that point, having 4 weeks of, we had a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new special teams coordinator. There's only so much you can do in an offseason, in training camp, against your own defense and all those things. Now you have 4 real game films to evaluate, to see what you do well, to see what you're not so good at, and the individual players to see what their strengths and weaknesses are in your offense. Another reason why I wouldn't agree that it's a great time to have a bye week early, but for this year's Tennessee Titans, it'll be nice for them to, like I said, let the dust settle, go to the film. Now you got 4 weeks with this new offense. Unpack it all. Be very, very self-critical on everything.
You have to
take the corrections, move forward, and start really putting a focus on what the strengths of this team are and run with it from there.
I think they've had enough negativity to actually figure out what's good with this team.
You go.
Yeah,
I do think that. There's been a lot. We were speaking off air just mildly about Levis, the stuff that you want to see him do. This should have been a big old reflection week for him. And here's the thing about it, as a player, both of you guys know this, but especially on football, you got 1 a week. What you have to also be okay with, because you can't move fast like basketball or baseball, is be okay with looking at your negative plays.
Yeah. No doubt.
That is cringe as heck. It sucks to look at. But if you can't go back and say to yourself, all right, on that flip 6, I was tripping.
Yeah.
Hey, on that situation right there, I should have just threw the ball back. And it's small self-checking things that if I'm the franchise quarterback, I'm doing this week also.
Well, and you know what else for Will was maybe a shakeup, a reality check. He got the keys at the end of last year.
Yeah, he did.
He got the keys. So this whole offseason, everything was, Will, you're our starter. This last week in Miami, he was a little dinged up, but not super dinged up.
So let's stop right there real quick. Mark, in all your time in the NFL, if you've had a guy be injured and be ready to go back,
bro,
do they ever go back?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. So if he was your tried and true starter, bona fide, he's back in that football game. He might have had a little rattle, a little reality check going. And I mean, he's standing there. You could tell he's trying to be a team player and do the cheerleader thing, but it didn't look good. And he's sitting there going, oh my gosh, dude, is this my job? What are they going to do after this game? Maybe that little inflection or whatever you want to call it, that's maybe looking in the mirror, you go, all right, I got to be better. I got to be better. I ain't going on vacation. I am not going on vacation, dude. I'm in the training room. I'm in the film room. I'm doing all these things because I sat there for 3 quarters or whatever it was, 2.5 quarters, and Mason Rudolph's running this football team, and everybody's talking about, we're winning the football game. Am I going to get my job back? Maybe that is just enough rattle that he needed to start taking it a little more serious to go, hey, I can't put my team in those bad situations like that.
Right. And then, listen, man, y'all getting the behind the scenes. We got guys out here talking ball. I can move over, man.
Hey, listen. Trust me when I tell you, it was coming through the camera. I wasn't in Miami. It was coming through the camera. He was doing the rah-rah thing. Do a little Instagram filter flip, do a little filter change. You could tell what was going on behind that face mask. Like, oh my God, this is my job, dude. And I'm telling you, bro, that's a wake up call now because he got the keys last January. He hasn't had to look. He was only looking forward. He didn't have to look in his rearview mirror. Now, hey, coach, I'm ready to go. My shoulder is ready. I'm fine. No, you ain't. It looks like it hurts, bro. You look hurt.
Hold on.
Just sit this one out.
No, I can see it from here, bro. It hurts. All right, it hurts.
And I feel like if you're a gamer, like, and had a moment, everybody's had a moment, you understand what that feels like.
Yeah, and he was nervous, and you could tell.
All right, man.
Hey, do you want to get this going?
We got to get to it. We got to get to it.
Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listen here, man. This is real deal. Get your boats. Get your hats so you don't get sunburned. Get your fish poles. Make sure your string is strong. Because we going hunting. It's time to get to it.
Hey, listen, here's the deal.
Let's go, baby.
I love this.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. You know Two-Tone Blue wasn't going to let us down, baby. Come on now.
Here we go.
Here's what happened. We started the season 0-2.
Yep.
We went 2-0. Now we got a little house money that's just pulling us down in our pocket. So we going gambling, all right? So here we going gambling. And there was all this talk about all these quarterbacks that got drafted and all these fancy arms and Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Well, guess who my guy is? Marvin Harrison Jr., baby.
Okay.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Going into San Francisco.
Okay.
Hey, they asked Kyler Murray. They said, hey, here's what we got for you, brother. We got 7.5 points if you want them. And you know what he said, boys?
I can't guess.
We don't want them, baby! We don't want them! Hammer that plus 220 money line, baby! We don't want them! The Arizona Cardinals going into San Francisco. Why? Because we got house money, baby! It's time to gamble! Oh, and the injury report for the 49ers looks awful.
That's
They real physical. That's what happens when you get physical.
Listen, man.
That's an old Titans report.
Hey, listen, I'll be honest with you. Hey, I'm gambling. If we were 0-4, I might be a little more conservative. But if you're riding with the Sharks who are hunting, I had a pick, and Moan walked through the door. Big sap.
Yeah.
I couldn't, for the life of me, bet against his boys with him in the room. I couldn't do it. So now what we're doing? Let me just make sure we do. Hey, now what are we doing?
What we doing?
We're hitting that. Plus 290?
Come on.
Oh, my gosh. Where's my hammer? Wham! Plus 290. We going to be rich, boys. Let's go.
Let's get Christmas money together, baby.
Hey.
We got to go buy pumpkins and moms and
that's
stuff.
Right. Those pumpkins are expensive these days. And you know what? You always, at least for me, I'm like, hey, I'm going to get 2 or 3 pumpkins. You start pushing that little cart around. You got your kids running in a pumpkin patch. All of a sudden, there's 30 pumpkins.
And then it's apples.
I'm like, bro, what? You talking about like $4 or $5 a piece? That one's $9. That one's $6. I'm like, what are we doing? We don't have this in the budget.
We're going to carve them up.
75 pumpkins? So, but hey, when we hit this plus 290, because I called John Gannon.
Yes.
I called John.
What you have to say to him?
I said, bro, they're giving you 7.5 at San Francisco. And he just looked at me square. He was my quality control for the Titans. I love John Gannon, dude. He is the man. Talk about a savage, straight savage. He just looked at me and said, hey, Mark, I know we spent some time together. He was, we don't want it. We do not want it. So there you go, baby.
Yes,
the sharks better be hunting in the bay, or else we in trouble.
Hey, y'all heard it, man. Get your piggy banks together, man. Get all your money. Go put it on. We going hunting, man. And we going to go hunting when we get back. We got to dive in with Greg Cosell. We also got to hit Tennessee and Arkansas, but we'll get the breakdown from the NFL Films best, his own Greg Cosell, when we get right back. It's the Sleigh Ride, the Savage Radio. Let's go. What's happening, man? You know what time it is. It's Cove Generators, man. Our hearts and prayers go out to everyone that was affected by that hurricane. This is an opportunity to understand, man, to get a Generac automatic standby generator. If you can't get it for you, get it. They have the portable generators. Go get it and donate it, man. I'm sure Generator Dave and them will work with you over at Cove Generators, but when you're getting it plugged up to your house, hooked up to your house, it's not that old clunky one that makes a whole lot of noise. And this one right here, it's backed by popular demand, the 7-year warranty upgrade. That's over $1,000 value. Doesn't get better than that. You have got to go to Cove Generators first, though. CoveGenerators.com, COVE generators.com. That way you never lose power again. You make sure to stay connected, and financing is now available. They have many options, some as low as 0% financing. Certain terms and conditions do apply. Just give them a call at 931-559-3311. That is Cove Generators, COVE generators.com, and know to stay connected through it all.
It's football time in Tennessee. Where are you catching all the college and pro games this season? Scoreboard Bar and Grill is where. There are 3 locations, so one is near you. Scoreboard Opry near Opry Mills in Donaldson, Scoreboard Cedar Creek in Mount Juliet, and Scoreboard Four Corners in Laverne. Man, just all incredible locations. We've done shows from all 3 of those spots, and you're going to have a great time no matter which one you go to. All Scoreboard locations have brand new football menus with new food and drink items, sure to impress anyone. Some of the best hot chicken, slow smoked ribs, wings, and barbecue, the coldest beer, and the largest bushwhacker selection in Nashville, and all locations have plenty of free parking. Scoreboard Bar and Grill has its own built-in party. Every scoreboard has tons of TVs, and we'll have all of your favorite games on with full sound. Oh, and get this, Scoreboard giving away UT tickets to every home game all season long. All you have to do is pay attention to their socials, so search them out. You'll get more information there. If it's football time, it's Scoreboard time. Scoreboard Opry, Scoreboard Cedar Creek, and Scoreboard Four Corners.
Welcome back in to 3XL, the Sleigh Ride Edition. This is Savage Radio right here on 104.5 The Zone. You got Big Savage and Big Sleigh right here with you, Zep behind the glass. Appreciate you guys hanging with us today on this Good Friday, Trash Talk Friday that is, man. With a new time, we got the one and only NFL Films, our guy Greg Cosell, tapping in with us to talk about what we saw, what he saw as far as film breakdown goes from this Titans-Dolphins matchup. And just exactly what you take from this when you got guys dominating, such as a big Tavondre Sweat doing it without Big Jeff, all of these guys. So, Cosell, how you doing, brother?
Boy, what's happening, my man?
Doing good, man. They left me home alone, so I had to go pick my brother up and let him ride with me.
You're home alone, huh?
yeah, man. So I got a football guy to do some football talk with you this time.
He picked me up on the way though, Greg. Just so you know, Ramon is here with him. He couldn't ride alone. He could not ride alone.
Cosell, man. Okay, one thing that stuck out immediately with this team was able to lean on the running game, man. What did you see?
Yeah.
What was able to take place in the front line to get these
I think that's critical. You know, I've always felt that, you know, when your offensive line is struggling, certainly in pass pro, that you really want to give them an opportunity to be proactive and attack and run the ball. Now, the run game is something that you have to be patient with. And I know a lot of coaches, they see a 2-yard run or a 3-yard run and they feel, hey, we have too many of those. We have to abandon that and we have to throw the football because everybody wants chunk plays, explosive plays. But when you're dealing with an offensive line that's new, that's trying to, you know, find its way, you want to give them a chance to be physical. There's nothing worse, I think, for an offensive lineman than having to just pass protect all the time, because that's a reactive type of thing as opposed to a proactive type thing. So, you know, it was good to see that. You'd like to hope that they can continue to run the ball with some consistency. They had that stretch where they gave it to Spears quite a bit. Was it first quarter, second quarter? I'm trying to remember exactly.
Second, I think.
I feel like I watched that game about 3 years ago. And you know, he kept grinding out, 5-6 yards. You know, that's a good run. You know, sometimes I think people think a 5 or 6 yard run, oh, well, if we throw the ball, we can get 20 yards. But, you know, you start putting together 5-6 yard runs, and that's more than just the gain itself. It means more to an offense, and it means more for a defense as well.
Cosell, I had to jump in on this one right here because what I noticed in watching that game in Miami was this, and maybe I'm wrong, but I thought when Mason come in, this isn't giving Mason too much credit, but I thought when he came in, the running game eased up as far as them being able to get yards. I felt like with Levis, they stacked the box. Is there something you're seeing on tape to where they're making Levis be put in bad situations where they don't trust the fact that he may actually throw it? Is there anything you're seeing as to why it got easier to run with Mason?
I would say that there's too small a sample size to say that there's any meaning to that. I mean, I think they want to run the football, and I think they were very inconsistent doing it through 3 games, but I think they clearly want to do that. I think that's one reason they made the moves they did, getting Cushenberry, drafting Latham, who ultimately can be a really, really good run blocker. So, no, I don't think there's any specific reason why, just because it was Mason handing the ball off and not Levis, that they ran the ball better. And I also think, and I'm sure it's been discussed all week, that we have to put aside any question as to whether there's a quarterback controversy. There's not, and there shouldn't be. I mean, you have to give Will Levis an opportunity to grow. Now, maybe we find out that he's not the guy. That may be possible. I'm not suggesting that he's absolutely the guy, and we know that for sure. But after 12 or 13 starts, playing last year behind an incredibly porous O-line, so far this year, if you're being honest, in pass protection and O-line, that has not done very well. I think it's hard to make a fair evaluation. Now, I think Levis is a certain kind of player, and I think he's an aggressive thrower. I think he has to learn how to channel that aggressiveness. I think he has to see things quicker and better overall. There's no question. But I think that only comes with playing. I think everybody in the league knows what Mason Rudolph is, and he's a perfectly fine backup. But you can't assume that he's now going to be your starting quarterback. That would be a mistake.
No doubt. On the defensive side of things, man, so it's the easiest topic to have. But Tavondre Sweat, what did you see out of him? I mean, the highest rated D tackle, if I'm not mistaken, this past weekend. What are you seeing now?
Well, it's funny you say that because obviously they weren't playing a multi-dimensional offense because Tyler Huntley was the quarterback, but that's not relevant to the discussion of Sweat, who, by the way, has played well all season through the quarter pole. Mm-hmm. But in this game, I'm telling you, I mean, you almost lose sight of how big this guy is when you watch him. I mean, he's got tremendous lateral mobility. He made plays in the run game down the line of scrimmage. His feet are light. He has very easy movement for a man his size. And I think most importantly for a big man is that he keeps moving on contact. So often with these sort of guys who are kind of cataloged as, big run stuffers in the middle of a defense, they don't really move well. In other words, they can hold the point, they can maybe get rid of an offensive lineman, but they don't really move. And I think that his lateral quickness, he can change direction with balance and body control. I mean, it's pretty remarkable to watch. We talked about him when I did the live podcast, the install, the week after the draft, and I said how much I loved his college tape. And, it's kind of playing out. He's looking the same playing the first 4 games in the NFL as he did playing at Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rare. Normally when you see a rookie play look the same as he did in college, to me, anyway, that's a good sign.
Yep.
It absolutely is. Another guy, man, that you were high on coming out of the draft. I told everyone last week, we've been given the opportunity with Cheeto going down. Brownlee Jr., man, y'all better be ready to pull your pocketbook out and sign him early because if you don't, somebody's going to snatch him up. What did you see from Brownlee in this game, Greg?
Well, it's so funny because I happen to know the secondary coach at Louisville, and he always texts me because, he had Brownlee. Now he has another kid there named Quincy Riley. He'll probably be a top 40 pick in the draft. But he also was at Middle Tennessee State when he coached Bayard and Blankenship.
Wow,
who's there in the NFL now, obviously. He texted me after the game to let me know about Brownlee. And Brownlee, he's just one of those guys. I think he'll get beat once in a while as he learns, but he's super aggressive. He's super competitive. He's feisty. He's going to be one of those guys that's annoying to play against. And like I said, I think until he sort of gets his feet totally wet here and understands that the quality of receiver he's playing against is better than it was in college, there'll be plays where he gets beat, but you got to live with that. And I think he'll be a really good corner. And by the way, he's obviously playing outside right now because Awuzi's on IR, but he has inside-outside flexibility. Depending on where this team goes, what happens down the road, who knows? No one can answer those questions, but he can play inside or outside.
We have NFL Films' Greg Cosell with us this afternoon. I almost said this morning, Greg. I'm not used to being in the studio this late. Lord, man. I have a question about a guy that did not play. And I've heard conversations, and the expectations go a long way in the NFL, do they not? And I just wanted to know your take on a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who we found out that didn't play this last game because of a UCL injury. And I know they probably think, well, it's just an elbow. No, those things hurt big dudes too, okay? But besides that, what has his play been like to you? Have you seen a drawback or just like the expectations haven't been met yet? Because I've seen that conversation come up.
Well, I think there's different ways to evaluate defensive linemen, whether they're edge players or whether they're interior players. And the way not to evaluate an interior player is by statistics. Because, it's funny, when I watch college tape, and sometimes I'll look at a stat sheet and I'll see a defensive tackle had 1 sack. Now, if you just look at that, you might think, well, he didn't do much. And then you watch the tape and he dominated the game. Because as you know, Ramon, defensive tackles, they don't necessarily get a lot of tackles. They can, but they don't necessarily. And that doesn't mean they're not factors in the game. And I've always felt that the way to really look at defensive linemen is how opposing coaches and offenses treat them. How do they account for them? How do they deal with them? If they feel they can single block them, then that means that they don't think they can wreck their game. If they feel that they have to double team them as part of the things they do, then that tells you what they think of them, because that means that it kind of changes the way their offense has to play because of how the defensive player affects them. And I think Simmons is not necessarily, he's not going to eat up the stat sheet, but he's physical, he's powerful, he's strong, right in the middle of your defense. And I think he's a really good player. I'm not charting every snap, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a coach, because D-line coaches, as you know, they chart every snap. But I think he's a really good football player, and I think that he's a factor in the middle of your defense.
Last one, Cosell, for me, man, and we'll cut your time short today and let you enjoy your weekend. I know you want to do that. But you got your guys, man, Kenneth Murray and Ernest Jones Jr. You talked about when they signed these guys. These are two aggressive, long, rangy guys that play downhill, if you will, and get to the ball. What were your thoughts coming out of the game with them?
Yeah, Murray in particular, I thought really flashed in this game. Now, again, we don't want to make too much of it because they were playing essentially a one-dimensional offense.
That's right.
But still, any coach will tell you it's hard to win in the NFL, and this is a win, and the Titans needed a win, obviously. Yes. I thought Murray played quick and fast. I thought he showed a quick trigger in the run game. He hit gaps with velocity and speed. He showed the athletic range that he has playing inside out, sideline to sideline. He really stood out to me in this game. And I think the more he and Jones play together, given that they both have outstanding length and high-level athleticism, I would expect that it'll be one of the better, linebacking duos in the league as time goes on. Now, obviously, there's so many factors involved in that. Obviously, you need your offense to be able to control the game a little bit. They can't be on the field for 75 plays, the defense, that is. So, there's so many variables that go into this that it's not just one thing. But I think that the way Murray played in this game, I thought was really impressive. And I think Jones in general is just a really good football player. I've been watching him for a number of years. Actually, I remember doing him coming out of South Carolina and thought that he was a really good prospect, but he was a really good player with the Rams. So I think that'll be a really good linebacking duo.
Just real quick for me too, Cosell, on the offensive line. I had them written down, so I had to ask you about them. Dylan Radins, where have you seen from him this year to either you say, okay, he's about to take that next jump? Because I feel like of the 5 offensive linemen this year, he has been the most consistent. He's had a moment. JC's had a moment. I mean, every one of them has had a moment. But this young man is in a contract year. Where are you on him right now?
You could probably answer this better than I. I mean, not probably, you could.
But they're going to say I'm biased because I'm an offensive lineman and all those types of things.
The way I'd answer that is I think the issue that he will always have is he's not a strong, powerful player. And I don't know if at this point that can change. Yeah, that may not be a weight room thing, Ramon. I mean, a lot of guys can go in the weight room and they can look really good, with muscles. But I'm talking about football strength. Yeah. And he just does not have that innately. So there's just too many plays when I watch the tape where I think he gets physically beaten. Okay. So can he? Is he better now than he was 2 or 3 years ago? Yes, but I think there's a certain point he can't go beyond because I just don't think he's strong enough and powerful enough to really be a high level guard. And we know he can't play tackle. And I said that even when he was drafted, Slay, you might remember, I said he'd end up playing inside. Yep. So Ramon, that's the way I feel about him. I think you can put him out there. I don't think he's one of those guys you put out there and go, oh my God, this guy can't play. But I think there's a ceiling to what he can be.
Yeah, I agree with you at the time. So he's a guard for sure. And it's a matter of reps and getting better for sure for him.
I love
it. And you don't have to be, Tarzan to play, as you know. But sometimes I think that lack of just innate strength hurts him at times. And, it gets in the way.
And that's what I tell folks. Like, playing that position, there has to be a level of strain. On the offensive line, whether either you're just nasty or like you catch yourself finishing more than getting pushed back. You want to be going forward than backwards. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep. So again, it's just the way I see it watching the tape, and I've been watching him ever since he got drafted. And I watched him as his last year at I think it was North
Dakota State. Yep.
Yeah, North Dakota State. Yeah. And I knew he wasn't going to be a tackle in the league when I watched him in college.
Yeah.
Greg Cosell with NFL Films. Greg, I got to ask you real quick while you're headed out the door, when we drop you off, what did you think about the situation last night? 509 yards from Kirk Cousins.
I actually watched that tape today. I watched Cousins. I didn't watch the other side of the ball, but I watched Cousins. And I tell you what, I've always liked Kirk Cousins because to me, he's one of those guys that's just a professional quarterback. Yep. He knows how to play the position. one of the things I always look for with quarterbacks, and you don't see this a lot in college, and that's why sometimes it's tough to judge, but in the NFL you do see it, is guys that can make window throws in versus zone coverage, because you have to be able to do that in the NFL. And number one, you have to have the confidence and just a natural feel to make those throws, because you can't be late on those throws. And I think that really stood out to me, watching Cousins, the tape, the way he makes those throws between the numbers, between the hashes versus zone coverage, because you got a ton of zone coverage. The Bucks don't really play much man at all. So it was a fun tape to watch.
Man, appreciate that, Cosell. Love that breakdown, man. Enjoy your weekend, Cosell. Watch some games, man. Don't stress too much about it. Titans off.
All right, who Tennessee have this
Man,
week?
we got Arkansas. Go to Arkansas primetime game. We got ABC game. So going to see if we can keep Taylor Green in check.
I was so unhappy last week. I had to go to a wedding. I didn't see much of the Alabama-Georgia game.
Man, that was Cosell, in your off season, or if you get a bye week, you're going to have to go back and check that one out.
Oh, I will be watching it, believe me.
I want to know what you think of Carson Beck. I can't wait to hear your breakdown.
Yeah, I watched him this summer. I watched 7 games from last year. I really liked him. I guess he hasn't played as well this year. I haven't seen the tape, obviously, but I really liked him. He's a little mechanical and robotic, but I think he knows what he's seen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Enjoy it, Cosell. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, Cosell.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
No doubt, man. It's Greg Cosell of NFL Films. Go give him a follow. I promise you won't be disappointed. This right here is Savage Radio. We out here busting blocks in the sleigh ride, man. For you that don't know what busting blocks is, we're spinning corners. We're riding through neighborhoods. We're checking out the scenery in the community. You come on back. You never know who we'll pick up on the ride when we're going through. This is 3HL. Better yet, this Savage Radio on the sleigh ride.
Weather's about to change. You need to get some advice on your lawn, and the experts are at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Check out their website, DickensSupply.com. Trey Hartsook is here with more. Trey, hit it.
Brent, what's going on, man? Hey, my mom always said, be careful what you ask for. Hey, we needed a little bit of rain here in the middle of Tennessee area, and I'll be darned if we got a lot of it. So now is the time to make sure that you're putting down that fescue overseeding. We know it was a long, dry summer, and now is the time. Lost a lot of turf, so we got to replenish it by putting down the PTT, the Proven Turfgrass Technologies, only available at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. People ask me all the time, they say, hey, Trey, what's the difference between what I can go buy at a box store and what you sell at Dickens Turf? The biggest difference is we've formulated this grass seed for our Middle Tennessee area to be drought-resistant, fungus-resistant, all the stuff that we need here. Brent, it doesn't matter whether you have 0.3 of an acre or 33 acres. We can get you squared away with the turf plan that you need, and we're going to make it as easy as possible on you. Whether you or somebody likes to be out in that lawn a ton, or somebody that just, hey, give me the bare minimum, we can get that to you. Stop in and see us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Conveniently located at Auburn, Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lombard, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
What's happening, people? Welcome back in to 3HL. This is a Sleigh Ride edition, High/Savage Radio. That's right, man. When you see us cruising the block, just throw your hand up in there. This ain't the Woo Girls, but this is another version of us. Big Savage combined with the evening. Listen, you got it all in one whop right here. Zeph back there controlling the ones and twos. My bad, Zeph, man. I don't know what that was, Zeph.
Who?
Zeph, I'm sitting in this seat, and I'm thinking, I guess Zach hit.
Don't even cover it up. Nope.
Don't even just let it roll,
Just let it roll.
Sometimes you just got to let it go.
Just put the...
My bad. Put some change in the tank and let's
let
roll.
the window down, man. Let's air it out. That's all you need to do.
They don't need just trying to say it wasn't me that passed it.
That was me. Give me the ticket and let me roll.
My bad, Zeph.
That is a demerit.
Yeah, that definitely is. But we rocking and rolling, man. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
You can always jump in with us, man, at 615-737-1045. Got the phone lines open. We're going to get to some of these calls because we're about to switch over to college football, baby. We talked enough pro football. It's time to get in the week. A team that's not on the bye is Tennessee, and they got to go to Arkansas in Fayetteville to face a raucous crowd, and Sam Pittman and Petrino, whose back is up against the wall, need a big-time win, but the Vols coming off of what they're coming off of, a bye week. Time to prepare. It's time to get to it. But first and foremost, man, let's go to Reese and Laura. Reese and Laura, we ain't heard from you in about 2 weeks, man. How y'all doing?
Hey, Big Slay!
What's up, Laura? How you feeling?
Big Savage!
Hey, what's going on, Laura?
Hey! I'm drinking my jacked up teas.
Okay.
And we're going to jack up Arkansas like we jacked up Oklahoma.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. I love to hear that, man.
Why are you with me?
Hey, Yus. What's up, Reese? You better know it.
Hey, I'm sorry for the MIA.
That's all right, man. I had to call and check on you, man.
He needed a bye week, too?
Yeah, you took a bye week, too, Reese?
I had 2 bye weeks. I got my boss, and sometimes he listens, sometimes he don't. I don't care. I'm going to throw it out there. My boss, Kevin, is a big UK fan, right?
Yeah.
And boo. And he found out we have tickets because we couldn't get them for Alabama or Florida because we were on hold the day they went on sale for 20 minutes. And Bob Kesslinger hung up on us, and we had to call back. And by the time we called back and got through at 9:19, when they went on sale at 9, Alabama and Florida was sold out. So we had to get Kentucky.
Ooh.
So I requested off November 2nd and 3rd so we could go to the UK game. Hey, leave them beer cans there. Don't worry about it. Get on down the road. Get on down. I'm sorry, director. And they're scaring the outside stray cat. I'm sorry, Savage. You're not used to this.
I'm used to it. I promise. I love it every time.
Anyhow, we got these people roaming trying to pick up beer cans, Bud Light aluminum pints in our yard, and they're scaring the cats, and I got to get rid of them. But anyhow, so he found out I requested off a Saturday, Sunday, and he's like, Reese, why you requesting off Saturday, Sunday? I said, we're going to the UT-UK game. And he goes, oh, yeah, go Cats. And I said, no, sir. No, sir, Captain. I said, you know what time it is, Kevin? And he didn't see it coming. Are you ready for it, Savage Play?
You better believe it.
Yeah. I said, it's football time in Tennessee.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
No, don't cut me off, Zed. Don't cut me off. Zed, don't cut me off. I'm not finished. Zed, I'm not finished.
All right, okay, give it to us.
Okay, so after I did that, I got my next schedule. And you know what the next 2 week schedule was?
What's that?
Kevin put me on third shift.
No.
Oh, wow.
After he found out I was going to the game in Knoxville, he put me on third shift. So that's why y'all haven't heard from us. I'm sorry. By the way, I appreciate you checking on us through Laura.
Yes, Big Slay.
She told me when I woke up to go to work, and that was really cool, Big Slay.
You know I got to check on my people, man. You know that.
And I felt bad, but you know, after I get off work, no matter what time it is, I drink my beer and then go to bed. So,
that's called being responsible. I like that.
Gotta be sober, drive. So here's the thing, and Savage, you're with us. I'm glad you're here because Laura loves you.
Thank
you. But here's the deal. Oklahoma took the worst advice in the world. You know what I'm saying, Slay?
What's that?
SEC.
Hey, don't. you never ever buy a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
And they bought a one-way ticket to the SEC, and Heupel let them know they should have bought a round trip. And I tell you what, Arkansas is going to be mad. We got them at minus 13.5. Did you get them at any? What'd you get them at, Big Slay?
I got them at. I put it at 13.5. That's why I got it.
Okay, It's up to 14 now.
Yeah, I saw that jump up.
200. I got 250 riding on them at minus 13.5.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what? Once we win today or Saturday, tomorrow, it's not going to matter how much they win by. We'll be over halfway to the big goal when they drop that line down to 8.5. Remember that?
Yep.
I mean, they might as well just said, here's some free money. But now, Big Slay, again, do you know what time it is?
Talk to me. Tell me what time it is, Reese.
It's football time in Tennessee. Welcome, fans, to Rocky Top.
There we go.
Hello, Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Kevin, Kentucky's going down. We love you, Savage. We love you, Big Slay. Everybody, go Big Boy.
Yes, sir.
There we go, man. Reese and Laura checking in, man. We appreciate y'all. We're going to come back at the top of the hour. D-Hop, I'm going to let you dive in here and tell us what you got to tell us about Levis' nickname. We shifting gears, man. It's time to get into some SEC talk. We got Josh Ward coming up at 5:20. But until then, the lines are open for you. It's me and Savage. Y'all riding and busting the blocks with us. Jump in the back seat. We'll take you where you need to go to. It's Savage Radio. This is the Sleigh Ride. It's 3HL. Let's go.
Yay.
All right, football is well into this season, and maybe you jumped in on a little betting action last night and hopefully won with the Titans getting a win. You can bet on all those big games or all the Titans games on Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee, bringing sports betting to a whole new level. And here's the deal. You sign up for Zen Sports. Maybe you didn't yesterday. You missed out. Don't worry, you can still do it, and you can automatically earn up to $100 no danger first wager. If your first bet loses, you get that $100, the amount of your bet back. And Zen Sports also is now offering NFL player props, daily promotions, including odds boost, no danger wagers, same game parlays, even daily same game parlay super boosts. That's right. Zen Sports provides daily super boosts that are 16% over their competitors right here in Tennessee. They've got a VIP program you can sign up for, zensports.com/VIP. Get a bunch of different added benefits. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and start betting with Zen Sports. Zen Sports betting just got better. Go to zensports.com or download the app today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. No danger wager limited to plus 500 odds to qualify. Boosted odds are derived from equivalent parlay bets offered in Tennessee. You must be 21 and older in Tennessee to bet.
Good evening. It's 5:02. I'm Joe Spanano from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. In NFL news today, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor out for Sunday's game versus Jacksonville with an ankle sprain. Giants rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors out on Sunday versus Seahawks with a concussion. And Cowboys star linebacker Micah Parsons out on Sunday Night Football versus the Steelers. Plenty of football this weekend, starting on Saturday in college. Number 9, Missouri on the road versus number 25, Texas A&M at 11. Vanderbilt hosts number 1, Alabama at 3:15. And guess what? It's the 4th-ranked Volunteers headed to Fayetteville to face Arkansas. You can catch the Ball Network call of that game right here on The Zone, starting at 4. You can hear these games on Sunday with no Titans as the NFL coverage here on The Zone continues. It's the Vikings and the Jets at 9 a.m. internationally. Dolphins and Patriots at noon. 49ers and Cardinals at 3 p.m. And Sunday Night Football between the Cowboys and the Steelers at 6:30. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, welcome back in right here at 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. We locked and loaded, which is Big Savage. It's Big Slay. This is Savage Radio, man, on the sleigh ride on this Good Friday. Appreciate y'all joining us. Hitting the blocks with us, just riding through the neighborhoods, trying to see what everybody's doing in the sports world. You can get this. Mayor is on assignment. Also, Babsy is on assignment. Babsy's at Stillwater. She got the West Virginia-Oklahoma game, so y'all be sure to pay attention to that. Detective Dawn will be out lurking. You know what I mean? Got her own little thing going, man. Zelf behind the glass holding us down. What up, Zelf?
What's up, people?
Hey, yes. What's up, people? Y'all got to understand that you can always reach out Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
615-737-1045. That's the phone number. If you want to hit us up, we got a car phone, so we pick it up, we answer, we talk to you while we riding, hands-free, that is. But this is what you got to understand. It's time to shift. It's time to shift focus, man. We got to get into this SEC play. Tennessee going to Arkansas. Alabama going into Vanderbilt to see if they can take over. Does Pavia, does he carry the Vanderbilt Commodores to a fight? Yeah. I just want to see a fight.
That's where it's got to start
Savage.
at.
Yeah,
By
man,
the way,
they got a bye week too.
I got the stadium name.
What's the stadium name?
First Bank Stadium.
First Bank Stadium.
First Bank Stadium.
Zeph, where were you? What was your antennas?
We were sleeping on that. Also, I said it in your ear, but I pressed the wrong talkback.
Oh, come on, Zeph.
After I looked it up. I did have to look it up. I will call myself out on that.
I saw you back there tapping in the back there, but yeah, I didn't get to hear it. Thank you for that, Dree. We got Savage riding with us, man. I had to go scoop him up, man. He saw his dog riding solo, so he said, you know what? Come ride with my dog. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest, which I heard this recently, but Nashville is getting the last little bit of the summer out of it, okay? Because it's nice and warm outside. It's a beautiful day, man. It's going to be, if you were looking for an end of the summer weekend, because next week is getting a little chilly. A little chilly.
Got to pull the heaters out a little bit.
High 70s, man. I like to do the weather report every once in a while. You know, Leland, my guy, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with him. That's a ball right there. That's a ball.
That's 100%. Yeah, Nashville getting the last little bit of the summer out this weekend.
Yeah.
Last little 80s for a while.
That is, man. We appreciate Mark Mariani Moonshine sliding by and, holding us down. Got the blood in the water pick if you missed that. He did pick Arizona money line. They didn't want the points. And the Steelers also, they didn't want the points if you want to double up. So you got that as far as the blood in the water pick. We had Greg Cosell from NFL Films sit in with us and talk about what he saw in that film breakdown from the 31-12 victory the Titans had going down to Miami and Hard Rock Stadium, where Savage was on the sideline. We talked about that all week. If you're new to the show, we appreciate you, man. Now call in. This is Trash Talk Friday. You got an opportunity to talk your trash, talk your stuff. It is shifting. We looking for Tusk. Whatever you want to have it, bring it back from Arkansas. Right up there in Fayetteville, cross on over to Little Rock, or cut across the state. It don't matter, man. Just bring it back to Tennessee. I already got something from NC State. Y'all got some wolf hair hanging over the door to keep all the creeps out. I got a wagon wheel right here that we took from Oklahoma. So they got 3 wheels down there. Now, I don't know how they getting around on their little schooner, but that's what it's about. It's trash talk. And that's what we're looking for. So, Savage, we're going to get to your points and what you want to have going in this game and how you can see it happen. But first, D-Hop has been waiting on the line. So, D-Hop, I got to come to you. And, D-Hop, you're on the line with us. You're on Savage Radio right here on 104.5 The Zone. What you got, bro?
What's going on, Savages?
What's going on?
How you doing,
Good
man?
afternoon.
Hey, man, listen, I bought me a jersey, man, with the number 8. Of course, it's an old jersey, Marcus Mariota. So what I did, I took a little stencil thing and I took and tore all that off, and I put my own name on it. I bought me some letters, put my own name on it. So what I'm thinking about doing now is taking that off, if I can, and I'm going to put on there, "Can't Get Right."
I love the movie Life, so I'm all for that, man. I like that. Can't get right, man.
Hey, I know. She said something. I think she said something about no seams, or how.
Yep, Babsy did.
I think "Can't Get Right" is it, brother. I think "Can't Get Right" is it.
There it is.
Right, it is. Appreciate that, man. D-Hop, man. We're gonna put that on the board right there.
Don't do the Cleveland thing where we got the quarterback naming list down the jersey.
That's tough,
man.
Savage. Once you start substituting names on jerseys and things like that, man, you gotta at some point. Can you walk that back?
Cleveland thought they was gonna right that ship.
They did.
They did. It's hard finding a franchise guy.
They got a song with that down made in Memphis now. It's hard out here for a pimp.
Yes, it is, man.
Yeah, man. So, man, hopefully you can right the ship, man. We had that going.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Let's go to Frank on line 2. Frank, what's happening, man? You want to talk Vols? Let's get to it. What you got for us, brother?
Yeah, hey guys. Actually glad that Ramon is on here because might be able to get his insight on something.
There you go.
In the Oklahoma game, I can remember 3 specific instances where it looked like O-line and I think one other guy just fell over. And, I never know if they're faking the injury or not, but it sure seemed opportune time to slow down the Vols offense. And I never heard y'all say anything about it, so I was curious if you noticed that. One was a guy with an elbow or shoulder or something, and another guy had his his leg just went straight and he just fell over and then he was back in the play, like the next play.
So silly.
And then I heard in the Ole Miss game, the announcers actually made a comment about the fact that they made it 2 plays without somebody falling over and being injured. So I was curious if y'all had any thoughts on that and if you think that Arkansas might try the same thing to slow the Vols offense down. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Appreciate that, Frank. What you think on that side?
Man, it's integrity, I guess is what you can say. But here's the thing, too. If your tax person can find you a loophole to save you money, you'll do that also. There is loopholes in the ruling right now that you can't question if a player is injured or not. They go down, you got to respect it. Yeah. We know what's going on in those games, and what's fascinating is you just laugh at the ones that lose in those moments because here's the thing. Lane had his running back go down. That's the game we were watching, and it's like he just went. You told me because I missed it. He just dropped to the ground. He just dropped to the ground.
And the quarterback was whispering to him, "Go down, go down."
It's too obvious now. My I guess my amendment to the rules would be this: if you do those things, then especially if you are a player type, then you got to miss the rest of the quarter if we suspect that you're not fully injured. Now, the thing they'll probably end up doing is putting a freshman in that's not really playing and having him go down. But still, there has to be repercussions for it. If you are out with an injury, a phantom injury, and the referees know. You know when your son lying to you, don't you?
You know.
Exactly. It's one of those type of situations where if I see or suspect that you've been faking an injury, you missed the whole quarter of the whole series. Maybe not the whole quarter, but you missed the rest of the series.
Yeah, I think it's got to be something. You got to put some kind of barriers on it, some kind of rules to it. I'm glad he brought that up, Frank. Appreciate that, man. I want to read this, and I've been wanting to read this all week. I don't know how it's been slipping my mind, but this is from Kirk Herbstreit. This is during the Tennessee-Oklahoma game, or after the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. It drives me crazy. They look over after a big play, and all of a sudden, he just goes down. It's not necessarily against the rules, but it's unethical as hell. You see it all over against these tempo offenses. Guys just go down with a quote-unquote injury. Pathetic. Kirk Herbstreit said during Tennessee-Oklahoma after Sooners D-line Dejon Terry appeared to go down with an injury. So, I mean, we saw this happening when Heupel inserted his offense into Tennessee and into the SEC. In particular, the game when Ole Miss traveled to Knoxville.
Sure did.
Like, it was glaring.
I'm still not over it.
No, that's a tough one to get over, man, because things could have went a different way, and, you never know what happened. But Yes, something got to be done to it, Savage. You can't just do that. That's buying time. That's buying timeouts. And the clock stopped. I just don't know how you monitor it. What's up, Zelf? I see you turn your light on.
What are your thoughts on Tennessee doing this after extra points?
After field goal?
When they score,
Here's the thing. Like I said, you either implore a guy who is probably not playing.
Right.
And it's usually an extra offensive lineman that seems to be hurt in those moments. Again, I'll play devil's advocate. I know we do it after that, but I hadn't seen us do it as often in the field of play.
That's the thing.
There's a break coming.
Change of possession when it happens is totally different than a
first
team
down,
driving,
running down the field, and then I just drop like Toy Story over here.
Yeah,
like,
you Woody, like you Woody.
I'm Woody in Toy Story.
Where's Andy?
Where's Buzz
Andy?
at? Yeah, exactly. That I do think, because at that point it makes the jobs of the folks Kirk Herbstreit harder because now I got to fill airtime.
Yep.
And I can understand his frustration because he's the late night guy, and it's mostly contested games where they're doing that, and he's calling those games.
Yeah, you putting these people to extra work. Babs, I want to ask her how that goes too when she gets back on Monday. Like, how does that work? Because the sideline reporters, you too, Savage, even in the NFL, like you got to figure out what's going on. If it's your team, like you got to get closer to the tent, you got to get to the trainer, you got to get to the SID, whoever it may be, to try to get that information. And if it's a fluke, you're on the other side of the sideline. I know for Babsy, because she does both teams, she has to sprint all the way to the other side to find out what happened, to give somebody like Herbstreit the news to report to us, the fans, while watching the game. So I think and then by the time she get halfway over there, they back up and get ready to go in the game. It's like, come on, y'all, what are we doing here?
What I don't want to see is it trickle up, because a lot of stuff we're seeing in the NFL right now is offense is trickling up, right? Nope, really going under center as much, spreading it out a little bit more, throwing to the sidelines. Only time I've ever seen an NFL defensive lineman pull something like that is if we've hit a no huddle moment, purely no huddle, and we're just 10 plays in. Then I'm like, all right, I'm just as tired as you are at this point. But if I strike you for a big, like, 30-yard pass and we're running to the line of scrimmage and then you drop, I can't live with that one.
That's tough. And I'm glad the caller, Frank, called in and talked about that, where it just wasn't pertaining to Tennessee and Oklahoma going through that. But you saw that in the Ole Miss-Kentucky game. This was after Ole Miss was trying to get momentum going, and I don't think the play was getting in quick enough. And he told him, drop. I don't know if communication went off on the headset or what, but he told his player to drop so they could refresh, reset, and get everybody situated, because Kentucky front line was getting to Jackson Dart. So I thought that was the time to reset. So, hey, I mean, people using it, but one thing we're going to use 93 premium when we fill this thing up. We're going to pull over right here, get some all gas. This is the sleigh ride, and who I got riding with me, Big Savage. It's Savage Radio. Be right back. Welcome back in. You know what time it is. It's a sleigh ride happening right here on 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. This is the edition of Savage Radio Edition. Got Big Savage joining in with us, man. We appreciate y'all hanging like I keep telling you. Got people on the phone line. We promise we're going to get to you. But first and foremost, we got to get up to the sports animal, man, to get our guy in, Josh Ward, to get a little breakdown of what Tennessee and Arkansas, just what to expect. Now, Josh Ward, when he comes in, like I always have to rub his shoulders a little bit and tell him like, hey, I know, don't overreact. Don't never overreact, Josh. Josh is always able to stay humble and tell us to calm down. No, I'm cool. He one of them. When he come in, no, dog, I'm cool. Get him.
Yeah.
Don't get me, get him.
Yeah.
So, Josh, what you got for us this week, man? Tennessee, Arkansas breakdown. How you see this game flowing? Who takes control? Who controls tempo?
So, I love the 3HL hits with you guys every Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun. And, Ron, you're starting to rub off on me because I gave my score prediction early in the week. And it may not be enough for you. Tell me if it isn't. But I have Tennessee by 25. 38-13 is the score that I gave out.
Josh!
And I even I think I got a look from Swain when I did that. So, is that right? So
what?
I think Tennessee's in a great position. 2 weeks off to get ready for this game. Arkansas is playing its sixth straight football game. The injury report is filled with players for Arkansas. Tennessee's in really good shape, at least going in. The 2-week break really helped Tennessee. Line them up straight up. Tennessee's the better team. So I think it's on the road and night game. Fayetteville historically, at least recent history, has not been great for Tennessee. But I think that changes this weekend.
Josh, that's what it's Ramon here, by the way. I came in on the morning crew, man. I didn't get you this morning. I came in on the evening. But, Josh, that's what I said this morning. I was like, I think Tennessee do cover this weekend, right? And you made the point of they're just better. Josh, can you break that down as to how this team is, not in a conceited, cocky way, but why is this Vols team just better this year versus a team like Arkansas?
Sure. I don't think Arkansas is a bad football team. Let's start with Arkansas's offense. I think their offensive line has solid players. I'm confident that they're well coached with Sam Pittman. He is as good as anybody in the country in helping prepare an offensive line. Obviously, he's the head coach. I think Taylon Green is a really good athlete. They've got some players that can make some plays. But then I look at Tennessee's defense. So a lot of the conversations we're having this season start up front, and Tennessee's defensive line, I think, will be able to go in and be disruptive like Texas A&M's defense was last week. 10 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, forcing turnovers. That pressure can create mistakes by Arkansas's offense. That's been the problem so far this season. And if that's the case this week, like Tennessee was able to force the turnovers against Oklahoma, really to get the ball back after the offense had given it up, it took Oklahoma out of the game. And I think that's what would take Arkansas out of it. And then Tennessee, with its playmaking ability, we'll see if Tennessee can get going in the passing game, and this can be the biggest game of the season for Nico. But Arkansas's defense, I think, will have a chance to give up some big pass plays, some catch-and-run opportunities for Tennessee. That's what I think would allow Tennessee to pull away and win by a big margin in the end. If the opposite happens from a turnover standpoint, that's what Arkansas has to be saying is, hey, we need to get into the backfield. We need to force turnovers like Oklahoma was able to do and then capitalize. Well, then that could create a closer football game. But I like Tennessee's chances to cause those problems more so than Arkansas.
As far as causing those problems, too, Arkansas does have a 5-star there, Landon Jackson. He was a LSU commit. He's there now. He's a unique guy like, Villanueva? Yes, I think he has no eyebrows as far as, but he's a ball player, right? He can bend. He can get around the edge. What does that present to a guy like Lance Hurd or also John Campbell, who's coming back this week from injuries, both of them?
Yeah, Jackson has lined up on both sides. He can go to either side. I think more often we'll see him lined up on Lance Hurd's side. He had 2 sacks last week against Texas A&M, was an all-SEC player last year. He's really good. So you bring him up, that's the top matchup of either concern or at least caution going in. Is Lance Hurd coming back, having missed the last 2 games? And I would say pretty confidently, to this point in Hurd's career, he has only been a starter at Tennessee, a reserve last year. This is the biggest test for him since he's been a college football player. I'm also sure that Tennessee staff is aware of that. Tennessee's tight end game has been so important for what they've been able to do. So maybe we see more 12 personnel if they think that's something that can help with Jackson. But he is a player, 6'7", 280, really good. Again, all SEC last year, 2 sacks last weekend. And I'm sure he's thinking, if I can get to Nico, I can get the football. So Tennessee has to be aware of him this weekend.
Josh, you also got Aaron Nichols coming back, Nico Slaughter. They're starting. They're captains for these guys when they walk out. This is going to be a reintroduction to some guys that were there just last year. How much does that play? I mean, not going to say anything in media, but when you come out as a player and you see a guy over there, you want to always show him, yeah, you could have been riding in this car. Look at these wheels we got on here. Don't you feel a little jealous of this?
Yeah, so we were discussing a little bit who has more revenge going into this game because they're two different stories. Slaughter played a lot for Tennessee and was a productive player. At times was a fan favorite. He had a huge game against Kentucky when Tennessee blew out the Wildcats 2 years ago, and I heard really good things about him. Nichols is a guy that he arrived as one of the first early big recruits for Josh Heupel, and before he played it down, Heupel was talking about Addison Nichols is not going to be he's going to be a great player at Tennessee, and it just didn't work out. So he's at Arkansas now, and that was a good spot for him to go play. Again, learn from Sam Pittman, but he's going up against a Tennessee defensive line, especially on the interior, that, as we just mentioned, can be disruptive and cause problems and continue to rotate guys one to the next that's as good as the one before. And that's going to cause a problem for him. But I'm sure Addison wants to prove, hey, Tennessee let me get away. He grew up pulling for Tennessee, wanted to be the next center or next big offensive lineman for the Vols, and it didn't work out. I just think he's going to have a tough time, probably, realistically, against Tennessee's defensive line. Slaughter, let's see. He can be a playmaker. Some of these guys know each other. Tennessee's wide receivers having gone up against him in practice and vice versa. So that's more of an interesting matchup. I would say Slaughter, a veteran guy, against Tennessee's receivers. I think he would have liked to have stayed at Tennessee one more year, but he had one more year left in college. I think wanted to see how much he could get, what was the best opportunity for him, and decided that was somewhere away from Knoxville.
So real quick before I pass it back to Savage, all is fair in football and battles, correct? So Arkansas put out that Addison Nichols is going to be the captain. Well, they put Elijah Simmons as a captain this weekend also. You think that was strategic?
Yeah, I've enjoyed the captain game because against Oklahoma 2 weeks ago, they had DJ Terry, who really battled through injury. Got to give him credit for that in the Tennessee game 2 weeks ago for anybody that might have noticed. And then Woody Washington, I think, who was from the state of Tennessee but went to Oklahoma. So we'll see more of this maybe. I like it. Guys who leave a team, they go up against their old squad and their captains. So when Nichols was at Tennessee over the last couple of seasons, I don't think he had the best reviews from his teammates, maybe coaches as well, in terms of how he was developing, the way he was playing. To call it like it was, I think they questioned his toughness when he was at Tennessee. I think Tennessee's defensive linemen are going to go in thinking we're going to show that he wasn't tough enough to be at Tennessee. And he knows that. He knows what was said about him and the questions about his game, and that's part of the reason that he ultimately left. But Tennessee's defensive linemen, they're going to be confident every week. I'm sure they have more reason to be confident from past experience against Nichols as the center, who, by the way, he had snapping issues this past weekend. That's something they're trying to get cleaned up. That's another thing I'm sure Tennessee has seen on tape is, hey, let's be disruptive. That's going to be a way to cause problems for him and Arkansas's offense.
When you look at it and you know exactly who Nico is, I don't think he's been unleashed all the way. I think it's been times, but as a coach, you got to figure out when to pull the trigger and when to pull back on the reins a little bit. You've seen that in the NC State game. You've seen it in the Oklahoma game, of course, because the tackles being out. These tackles are healthy. So if Nico were to get into a shootout with Arkansas against this Petrino system, how confident are you in Nico being able to deliver with his weapons?
Yeah, I'm confident. We saw early in the game against Oklahoma a couple of opportunities. There was the big throw, catch, and run to Dante Thornton. I think Josh Heupel will fill out, see how things are going, and he will set things up for the offense to be able to hit some of those strikes. And, of course, he wants to see good play from his tackles. Let's see Campbell. Does he hold up all 4 quarters? Probably needs to be spelled at some point. That's been the case so far this season. But if Josh Heupel trusts the protection for Nico, I don't have any doubt that he's going to trust Nico to take some shots down the field and hit some big plays. And I think Tennessee will have a chance to hit those. There are a number of guys we could pick that could hit that. Thornton has been the best, I think, so far at hitting the big plays. He had another catch that would have really bumped his numbers up that was called back because of the holding call that went against Tennessee. But Thornton has been a big play threat. Brazel is still that. Squirrel White, I think, could get his chance. Does Chaz Nimrod get that opportunity? He's from Arkansas. They know that he's from there, Tennessee I'm talking about. So Brew McCoy hasn't gotten in the end zone yet. A lot of guys are hungry, I think, to get a touchdown or two this weekend. I think Josh Heupel is going to give them that chance.
Josh Ward with us this evening. Josh, at some point, I hope if we don't get the passing game going, then it's also set up by the running game. When will we get the full three-headed monster of Dylan Sampson, Deshaun Bishop, and also Cam Seldon healthy together?
Yeah, that's a good question because I think during the offseason, the expectation was, okay, when Seldon gets back healthy, he's RB2. He'll be the second guy. He's a terrific athlete. He was set up to be that, taking on that role in the bowl game after Jalen Wright and Jabari Small opted out. And the coaching staff really likes him. I think so far it's been more about Deshaun Bishop has earned that opportunity, and there's been a lot of trust in Sampson and Bishop. Let's see, 2 weeks to get ready for the game. Has that created more of an opportunity for Seldon to get reps there? But it's been Sampson and Bishop, and the numbers won't wow you. But if you look at what Bishop did, he averaged 4 yards a carry. He did exactly what the coaching staff needed from him in that game. He has big play ability. He can break away just like Cameron Seldon can. So I don't know. That's a good question, but I'll be curious to see this week and as the season goes along what Seldon's role is, because everybody at Tennessee believes if he has the football, he has big playability too.
Yeah. Josh, man, we appreciate you sliding through, man. Before we drop you off on the sleigh ride, which you're not a stranger to when riding on the sleigh ride. You do this, it happens to be in basketball season. So now we got it in reverse. I need you to pick two key guys. Well, one key guy on each side of the ball that you expect to stand out and have big games in this one.
Okay, guys to stand out on each side. I'll start on defense. Okay. And this is a guy that has playmaking ability, might find some opportunities in the offensive backfield. I'll go Arion Carter at linebacker. As Taylor Green is a guy, he is a legitimate athlete. He's going to be on the run. Arion Carter is a legitimate athlete. So he'll get back there and I'm sure try to take the ball away, deliver a couple of big hits. On the offensive side, I said pick any of the wide receivers. I'll try my best. I'll say that Chris Brazzell, that he hits a big play and scores a big touchdown this weekend.
Nice.
Like that.
That's easy. Easy work right there. 25 points. You already heard it on Josh Woods. Stamp that on your bingo card. Put some change in the tray, man, and pass it back around.
You're rubbing off on me, Ron.
I love it. I love it, Josh. That's how we live on Fridays, baby. I appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. Appreciate you shifting times for us too, man.
No doubt.
You got it. Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
All right, no doubt, man. That's Josh Woods with the Sports Animal right here on Savage Radio with Big Savage and Big Slay. You know what I mean? The two savages riding in the sleigh ride. We're going to go to the phone lines. We trying to open it up for you guys so we can get you guys in there. Let's go to Mel. Mel, thanks for staying on hold. Talking some balls with us. Mel, you there? Mel went to sleep. Mel, we're going to put you back on hold, Mel, see if you wake up, but we got to go to the next caller. Mel's on hold. He has the call. He has to wake up first. Let's go to line 2. Tommy Two-Tone talking about flopping. What you got for us, brother?
Hey, what up, dog? What up, Big Slay?
What's happening?
What's going on?
Go Vols, baby.
Let's get it and go Two-Tone Blue this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you get a free one this weekend.
Yeah, we'll take that all day long.
Right? We can't lose this weekend.
Can't lose.
Nah, man. I got a solution to this whole flopping issue, man. There ain't no rule against it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody seems to know what to do to stop it. I say if you go down with an injury on the field, get yourself off the field. If you got to go down on the field and stop the clock, you can't come back in for the rest of the series.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm with the rest of the series aspect of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Tommy.
They have the ability on the sideline with the referees or the extra one on the sideline that they can monitor that.
Yeah,
absolutely
they could. Man, appreciate that, Tommy Two-Tone weighing in. Greg, we want to have him weigh in from Lebanon. Greg, what you got? You got something about this flopping, bro?
Yeah, having to do with how hockey handles it, where you got the embellishment call.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the officials. The official has a right to, if there's a penalty on, even if it's a penalty on you, if you embellish it, he can put you out for 2 minutes. Realize it's a different game, but flopping isn't unique to football.
Yeah, something at some point has to be done about it, and everybody knows it's going on. That's the thing about it. It's the worst kept secret in college football at this point. And I get it. The rules were there's a loophole. People will take advantage of it every single time.
Every time. Man, appreciate that call. Let's go back to Mel and see if Mel is on the line. Mel, did Mel wake up? Mel, you there on the line?
I'm here.
Hey, what's up,
give
Mel?
it up for Mel.
What's up, Mel? Come on down. What's up, brother? What you got?
Hey, I just want to know, I'm heading to Fayetteville tomorrow. I want to know what piece of this hoagie you want me to bring back. or you can bring the whole thing with me.
Hey,
I'm ready.
that's what I'm talking about, Mel. See, this the energy I'm looking for. All that BVS, keep that at home. Put that in the bottom of the basement. Lock it away. Put it in a safe and forget the code. Mel, this is what I want you to do. Man, we down here in the country. We down here in the South. We like pig feet down here, man. Not everybody, but we can damn sure sell it if we don't eat it. So you bring it down, we'll clean it real good. Any part of that hog you bring back, we going to find something to do with it. So whatever you can walk away with, you walk away with it. Ain't that right, Savage?
Yes, sir. What I'm thinking is we go ahead and just dig a hole in my backyard. And then we layer it with some charcoal.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Some banana leaves.
Yes.
And we lay that hog down in there.
Come on.
Bring the whole hog in there. Let's have a roast.
That is right there, man. Y'all heard it, man. The lines are open. 615-737-1045. It's Trash Talk Friday. You're on Savage Radio. You're on the sleigh ride. This is 1045 The Zone.
Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, get prepared to get that new vehicle this weekend. And Gupton's got you covered. Sprinter van, Ram truck selection is phenomenal. They've got Jeeps everywhere, all over that lot. Looks like the Jeep dealer threw up Jeeps on Gupton. They've got so many of them. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. So go tell Daniel Gupton and his crew what you're looking for. Maybe you need something with more space, more gas, better gas mileage. Maybe you need something cheaper month to month. Let them know. They'll point you in the right direction. You'll take your test drive. You'll go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. That's GuptonMotors.com. All the dealership information is there. Address, phone number, inventory, all the deals they have going on this month there. Get prepared to get that next new vehicle this weekend and get it from my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
What's happening, people? Welcome back in to 3HL. This is the Savage Radio edition, riding with the sleigh ride. Big Savage riding with me, me and Zeph. We got Zeph in the backseat this time, though. He do get to have the aux cord, though, so we respect the music being playing. You know that's my guy, Chris Stapleton. Can never lose with him.
Ever.
Man, we got to dive straight into this. Let's jump straight into the parlay before we get to our keys for the Tennessee-Arkansas game. Bring me my money. Yeah. Here we go, man. We got two parlays, man. We're going to dive into the one tonight because you got games going on Friday night. This right here going to set you up for the weekend to get you all the way right. So, Jacksonville State at Kennesaw State. Jacksonville State, I've been out on Rich Rodriguez and them since the beginning of the season when they let me down. So I'm going Kennesaw State plus 16.5. Houston at TCU. Give me TCU to cover. Savage already told me Houston is horrible.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, see. So Syracuse at UNLV. I think the Q's go in there and get them, man. I'm going to take the plus 7.5. They at least cover. New quarterback. Does he come down off the high of being able to replace this guy? Michigan State at Oregon. Oregon ought to put up some points. Michigan State ought to fight just a little bit, still get beat by a dub, but I'm taking the over in that. So over Michigan State, Oregon, Syracuse plus 7.5, TCU minus 11.5, Kennesaw State plus 16.5. Rolling on into Saturday. So you take that money, you put that money out. Here go a little something for y'all, too. WNBA, Connecticut Sun, they got something to prove tonight. Las Vegas Aces, they got to get off the snap down 2-0 in this series. That's WNBA. Bet that tonight. The other game is SMU plus 9.5 on Saturday. Pittsburgh at North Carolina. Give me Pittsburgh money line. Purdue at Wisconsin. Go under 46.5. Ole Miss at South Carolina. I boosted it up to South Carolina plus 10.5. Alabama at Vanderbilt. I took it down to 19.5. I think Alabama covers. That's real simple and fine, man. Take that, get that money, put that money up under your pillow. A little tooth fairy or sleigh fairy may come and give you some extra little money with it if you got it up under your pillow. If you don't, just keep it in, do something with it. Put it in your change drawer or something. Other than that, that's all, Savage. Savage, Tennessee, Arkansas. Give me your keys to the game for Tennessee to walk out of this bad boy with a victory.
Man, knock the dust off Arkansas early. You had a bye week. You should be fresh. You should be chomping at the bit to go at it. Win the physicality game is where you beat them at. If you hit a team like Arkansas early and often, then it'll start to mentally sink in a little bit. That's where I'm at with them. Another one, protect Nico. Have to at this point. I feel like this is a game where he tosses it up a little bit. Let him get the confidence of saying, I can carry this squad too. Arkansas is a perfect team to do that against. They got some good components of it. But if you're going to try to unleash him, this is where you do it. Put him in a road setting. Let him get his. And defensively, do what you've been doing.
Yes.
Take the balls that are coming your way. Taylor Green likes to roll out to his right and throw left. Make him pay for it. He cannot by any means start connecting down the middle and across his body. You are not set in those moments right there. So make him pay for it with picks, tip balls, or just incompletes in those moments. Those are mine.
Zephyr, what you got as far as your keys to this game? Tennessee walking out with a victory.
I'm going to piggyback off of the last one that Ramon just gave there, and I'm going to say force Taylor Green to beat you with his arm. Don't let him get out of the pocket and make plays with his legs. He's thrown 5 interceptions in his last 5 games. Stop the run, stop Jaquindon Jackson, the SEC rushing leader, and I think this Tennessee defense is going to be just fine.
So right there, I'm gonna go right off. I'm gonna piggyback right off y'all. It's nothing better than having a defensive stop and then them having to put their foot on the ball.
Yeah,
that right there allows special teams to get involved in it. I think you can expect something big, whether it be a 25-yard return, 30-yard return, but you flip the field by getting a big-time return and you let your offense go down there and work with a short field. With you being able to pin your ears back of your Dylan Sampson, just to what you said, hey, it is competitive smoke, and it is received the right way. Jackson's the leading rusher in the league. It's only by a little. So Dylan Sampson, I think he's salivating at the bits, man, to be able to get out there, get behind this healthy O-line walking into this game, control the clock, and if you got to do it that way, I think Arkansas is tough job, tough sledding to try to handle this offensive line, pushing them around with this type of tempo at night. We got to go to our guy, Pan the Man and Will Lee Bowling out there. Y'all on Savage Radio. It's live. I can hear it live. Put the mic down there in the stands. Let some of the people talk if you want to, Pan.
How we doing
tonight? What's up, baby?
I got Will Lee.
Gentlemen, it's crazy. I started my morning hearing Ramon Foster. Now I'm ending the afternoon hearing Ramon Foster. I had no idea I'd be hearing Ramon Foster today. This is a nice little surprise.
Hey, you can't quit me. You can't quit me, Will.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm getting a 2-for-1. You heard a bonus football in overtime. This is bonus Savage is what we're getting to.
Hey, what's the parlay record at this point?
Well, you know what? See, Pan, you like to come in on there and ask questions and kind of dig to find dirt. The main thing about the parlay is the parlay lives to fight another day.
Yes, sir.
So you never worry about what happened in your rear view because we broke it off. All we can do is see through our windshield, which we're heading straight. Now, what you got to do is be able to collect all your coins and put your coins in the right place for the right hit, and then that's up to you what you do with it. What the parlay is for me may not be for somebody else, but it's up to them to filter it and take it and tweak it. So to answer your question, I really don't know. I just know I'm up.
I see, Slay, anyone else in the world, if they were giving out WNBA bets in October, I'd tell them to call the hotline number. and not the zone hotline, the gambling hotline number, but I will allow this from you.
Hey, I accept it too, man. Panda Man and Will Lee Bowling, man, out there at Brentwood and Franklin. What y'all got tonight? What can we expect from you guys hearing you on 104.5 The Zone tonight?
Yeah, well, you can expect the oldest rivalry in Williamson County. This is a rivalry that's been played since 1985, Brentwood and Franklin, and we talked to both coaches, and pretty much both of them said the same thing. Like, they're getting hit up by people they didn't know, A, had their number, or B, cared about football, saying, all right, it's Brentwood Franklin week. It means a little bit more in this matchup. Franklin, a team 4-2 this year. They're 3-27 the last 3 seasons. So an amazing turnaround that they've been able to have this year. A lot of seniors, a lot of good talent. And then a Brentwood team, 5-1. Only loss was to BA week 2. They've only given up 12 points in the last 3 games against Henry County, Summit, and Overton. Got a 2-quarterback system. It's going to be really fun. It's a fun rivalry, and we're looking forward to this one.
Both teams on a roll, too. Brentwood hadn't lost since week 2. Franklin hadn't lost since week 3. This place is going to be rocking. Y'all know Williamson County's always bringing the hostile environments, football or basketball, Slay, for whenever we get back to that. But they're trying to keep that midseason momentum going. A lot of animosity here in this game.
It always should be, man. You're right there in Williamson County. Let them fight for it. We don't care. Put a cage up and let them go at it, baby. I think SmackDown is in the town tonight, if I'm not mistaken, with the WWE. So it might as well carry on over there too, y'all.
I love it. No, hey, this is a game that may decide home field advantage in the first round or second round in Region 6-6A. 2 teams that are undefeated. 6:45 pregame. Tate Matthews will join us. 7 o'clock kick. Battle of Brentwood with Brentwood Franklin. Going to be fun.
I don't know where it fits into the parlay though.
Panda Man and Will Lee, we appreciate y'all joining us. Let me tell y'all one thing, man. Don't never jump in the car and touch a Savage Man radio. Don't never touch it. Keep your hands off our radio, dog. We'll see y'all later on. Appreciate y'all checking in. Man, that's Will Lee and Lucas Panzica. They used to drive in the ship. That ain't what happening right here on Savage Radio, man. We got the sleigh ride. Me and Big Savage, joined by Zelf, letting them hold the aux cord. You better understand, man, anytime you get the opportunity to make the most of it, believe in God, believe in yourself, and we up out here, and it's always go Vols. Savage, you got something for the people?
Man, y'all know how it goes, man. Buy somebody a random drink this weekend. Catch an Uber. Don't be out here about doing bad, okay? But at all costs, God ain't got no roof.
The best producer in the world.